everyone. Welcome back to FPF First and Goal podcast. I'm your host, Quaysie Maule, and Brent's going to be joining with us shortly. Today, for the podcast, we're going to be talking about a lot of teams kind of in standings. We're going to go through what I like to say about every division, kind of saying who's in, who's out, who has a chance to get in, and we're going to kind of just go by for every division. So we're actually going to start with competitive until Brent should be back, I would say, around competitive, around intimate, but we're gonna go like competitive to kind of just get it out the way. It's actually one of the divisions where everyone does make playoffs for it, so it's to a point like who has the first seed and who has the last seed. Looking at it right now, we have the Infantry as the number 1 seed, Braves at number 2, FlagPlus at 3, Party Crashers at 4, and then Raw Dogs at 5. So what's going to happen in this division is that the first top 3 teams are going to get a first round bye, and then the 4th seed and the 5th seed are going to play versus each other. Right now, Infantry locks up the number 1 seed, so they're going to be in the 1 seed. Braves pretty much lock in the 2nd seed unless FlagPlus ends up beating. Let's go back to this. Yeah, so Party Crashers play FlagPlus and then Braves play Raw Dogs. I'm expecting Braves to win that game versus Raw Dogs, and then I expect Party Crashers versus FlagPlus. I expect FlagPlus to win that game too. So I think everyone's kind of gonna stay in the seedings that they have, and then we're gonna have a 4th seed versus 5th seed where we're gonna have Party Crashers versus Raw Dogs, which they actually played already in the season. We had Party Crashers destroying Raw Dogs 47-19, and then they had a rematch where Party Crashers won 41-20. But in this situation, 2 players from Party Crashers are not going to be there, so I'm expecting the game's going to be a bit different. They're going to be without their quarterback Jean Slee and his twin brother Jordanson for the remaining of the season. So they're going to probably go with Gucci as their quarterback, and I would want to say they actually just played versus the Braves on August 2nd, where they actually ended up winning that game. But unfortunately for them, their biggest issue is going to be is that a lot of the guys that they did have play with them, I believe they're going to be in their university season, so I don't think they're going to be there to play that game. And they had Sanders at quarterback, and I don't think he's going to be eligible to play that game as well. To be able to play that game. I'm looking at his games played right now. He has 2 games played. They had 1 left. So unless they kind of like use some method where he was at some games where they were playing and trying to kind of maybe try to finesse the system, unfortunately for them, they're going to have Gucci as quarterback and then whoever else is eligible for their team. So we're going to have a rematch between Party Crashers and Raw Dogs, and we never know. Maybe with the absences as Jordan Jean Slee and his brother, Remy Raw Dogs could kind of make that upset. Even though they're probably the regular season 1-9. Right now they're 1-8 with 1 game left, but I think they're going to lose their last game. So they're going to finish the regular season 1-9, play the Party Crashers, and maybe make that upset, and then they'll end up playing versus the Infantry, which is the 1 seed. Or Party Crashers win that game, you're going to have the Infantry versus Party Crashers. Or so if Raw Dogs win, it's going to be the opposite, and then you're going to have Braves versus FlagPlus. But interesting fact for that game, so during the playoffs, I think most of the guys for Braves are going to be in Germany for the World Games for Team Canada. So they're going to be missing a couple guys to their roster. And then for FlagPlus, they're also going to be missing Krushlo. I would like to say their number 1 receiver. So there's going to be there's going to be a decent amount of players missing on both sides of the field, more likely the Braves. But again, Braves is a deep roster. I believe they have like 10 guys, 11 guys this season. So, I mean, they're going to be missing James, Phil Fahan, Belan. So I think they're missing 3 guys. FlagPlus is missing 1, so 3-1. But Braves is a bit of a deeper squad than FlagPlus. So it's gonna be an interesting game to see them play in the semis, and then it goes finals, and we're gonna see who's gonna end up there. But for now, it's gonna be the 4th seed versus 5th seed, and then we're gonna find out whoever wins that game, and it's gonna be the 1st seed versus 4th seed, and the 2nd and the 3rd seed. Going to the schedule again, I was saying before going intermediate, we have 2 games. That's going to be on Sunday. We're going to have Party Crashers versus FlagPlus, and then Brave versus Raw Dogs. And last week we had Party Crashers versus Braves, where, as I said, Party Crashers ended up getting a huge win without their quarterback and one of their star defending players. And then FlagPlus kind of just destroyed Raw Dogs 46-19. So 2 last games to end week 12, and then we're going to have playoffs. We're going to jump to intermediate. right now. Let me just kind of open it up. So intermediate is a bit different. We have a bit more teams in this division. So intermediate 5v5. Kind of just looking down the standings, we have 8 teams, but only we have 8 teams in this division. 6 teams make playoffs. So right now we have Flag Vengers at the 1 seed, Junkyard Dogs at 2 seed, Mighty Schmucks at the third seed, Coconut Coconut Gang at the 4th seed. We have Void at the 5th seed, Only Flags at the 6th seed, Poseidon Kiss at the 7th seed, and Team YS at the 8th seed. Unfortunately for Team YS, they had a really not the greatest season. They're going to end their season probably 0-10. Right now they're 0-9. So hopefully they can win their last game. Their last game that they are going to actually play against, they're going to play versus Flag Vengers. So, I mean, it's going to be a hard game for them, especially for the fact that Flag Vengers, they have kind of nothing to play for. They already lock up the number 1 seed. But for them, I guess maybe it's a motivation boost to kind of get themselves ready to get into the playoffs. So it's going to be a hard game for them to kind of win. And the team, also the thing that's interesting for Team YS, and me and Brent were kind of talking about, is that this team is not bad. I just want to say that intermediate is a very good competitive division this year. And like, I think a team like Only Flags that won Division 6B last season, I think they kind of realized, because you play Division 6B and then you jump into intermediate and you're like, okay, well, we should have a good chance. But you're playing teams that, like, I want to say most of these rosters, most of these teams are like Division C teams, Division 3 teams, and like going into winter, maybe 4. But like, it's a big jump when you're playing 6 and then going into like 4 or 3, that's like saying like that's not a thing where you're going to go in Division 6, win it, and then you're going to jump to Division 3 or 4. You're like, you go to Division 5, win that, then 4, then 3, then you kind of make your way like down the road. But for Only Flags as a team, like, they made that big jump. Team YS, it's also like a newer team, but it's filled with a bunch of athletes, but they also made that jump. You have put Poseidon's Kiss as well too. It's a roster that's, I would like to say the roster is maybe a Division 4 team, but like intermediate's like a Division 3, 4, so like there's still a lot of good teams. So you're not going to just blow out the competition. If you have a bad day, you're going to lose a lot of these games. That's why teams like Flag Vengers that came back from last season, I believe they won last season. Maybe they made a loss, but they definitely went to the finals. Team like Junkyard Dogs, that's a Division 3 team, borderline Division 2, depending on the roster is. Mighty Smucks is also a very powerful roster. Kunkunu Gang, also a newer team, but good roster. Void, good roster as well too. Like, all these teams are very good. So teams like, I'm going to say it again, team like YS, like, they're not a bad team. I got to look at their points for 223, 4, and then against 301. It's like not horrible. Most teams that are like 0-9, like, you see the points and against points difference, it's huge, so like for them to kind of be struggling that they are, it's like, it's totally understandable. And I'm not like, oh, like they're like, oh, it's such a bad season for them. Like, it's a learning experience at that point. And same thing for Poseidon's Kiss, where they're kind of bringing that roster for Rocco, where it's kind of like he's getting the feel of 5v5. And again, you're playing versus teams that are used to the format a bit, and they're powerful rosters. So that's kind of to something brief to kind of brief about while we're going to end the season. So we do have 1 week left, as I was kind of saying, going into week 12. So week 12, you have Only Flags versus Poseidon's Kiss. For Poseidon's Kiss, it's a big game for them, because they need right now, as looking at the standings here, Poseidon's Kiss is in the 7th seed, and they need to get this win to jump Only Flags, which they're in the 6th seed. So if they could win that game and Only Flags lose that game, they will jump them and they'll put Only Flags into the 7th seed, which knocks them out of playoffs. So that's a big game for them. And then you have Only Flags, which they also play week 12, because Only Flags play Poseidon's Kiss. So basically that's a playoff game. So that's an early playoff game where basically whoever wins gets in the playoffs, and whoever loses gets out of playoffs. Then we have Flag Vengers playing YS. Again, Flag Vengers not playing for anything. They locked up the number 1 seed. Team YS is pretty much playing for pride, trying to get that one game, try to get at least one game in the season. Then you have Coconut Gang versus Void, where right now, for Void's sake, they're in the 5th seed. Coconut Gang is in the 4th seed. I believe if Void could win that game, they will jump up to the 4th seed, and they'll put Void in the 5th seed. If they lose that game, Void will go into the 4th seed. Coconut will go into the 5th seed. So they're just gonna like kind of switch spots. And the winner, again, I was saying, against Only Flags versus Poseidon's Kiss, will jump each other. So those are pretty much the situations going into it. If we're looking at the playoff breakdown, number 1 and 2 seeds get by. So as of right now, depending on Coconut Gang, if they end up winning that game, they'll go 7-3, but it's gonna be a 3-way tie. And because the points against for Junkyard Dogs, they're at 2-13, and they're pretty much safe. So they're gonna be pretty much clutch that number 2 seed no matter what happens in the standings. Doesn't matter what any other teams do, tie, win, for them doesn't matter. So we're gonna have Flag Vengers getting number 1 seed by, and then you have Junkyard Dogs getting number 2 seed by, and then we're gonna have the 3rd seed versus the 6th seed, and then the 4th seed versus the 5th seed for the first round of the playoffs. Something that's kind of interesting to say is, like, I don't see, like, I guess the Junkyard Dogs and Flag Venger are the 2 powerful teams. Like, I wouldn't say they're the most. I don't want to say they're the best roster, but like all around and no names, quarterback systems like that, I kind of want to give to them. But like, I honestly think in this situation, anyone could beat anyone on a good day. If you're having a bad day, if a team your quarterback decides to throw 2 interceptions, I think you're going to lose that game. So it's going to be interesting to see for the first round matchups when you have the 3rd seed versus the 6th seed, because I think the 6th seed has a good chance to win, and the 5th seed versus 4th seed, it's pretty much a same record at the end of the day. It's going to be like 6-4 versus 6-4, maybe 5-5 versus 7-3. So it's gonna be like either or, but it's gonna be 2 very good matchups where, like, if the bottom 6 and 5th seed win, you're not gonna be like, I don't think the division, especially division, like, people are gonna be surprised, just seeing the fact that that there was kind of a, like, I wouldn't say it's an upset. Like, yeah, it's upset in the standings, but I just think that all these teams are beatable, except for maybe Flag Ventures and Junkyard Dogs, just because they're a more of experienced team. But like, if let's just say we're going into the semis where Mighty Smucks end up being Flag Ventures, I'm not going to think it's a huge upset. Like, yeah, I think Flag Ventures is the most powerful team in this division. I would say Junkyard Dogs is number 2, but I wouldn't say like Mighty Smucks, Coconut Gang, Void are that much far apart. Only Flags is a bit different. They're kind of getting familiar with the division, and for them to be in 6B and making that big jump with pretty much the same roster is a big difference. So maybe for them, I would give them one of those upsets. But realistically, like, there's still a bunch of athletes. I'm pretty sure most of these guys are still playing CJ ball, and they're kind of getting used to the system of playing flag, and they're just trying to get their cardio in before the season starts. So I wouldn't say like it's a big upset, because again, all these guys are athletes. So that's kind of pretty much breaking down for intermediate. I'm going to go to co-ed 1. I'm going to go to co-ed 1 now. So that was 5v5 intermediate, and then made it competitive. So now I'm going to go to co-ed 1. For co-ed 1, again, there's only 5 teams in the division. Everyone makes playoffs. So it's kind of the same format as competitive, where you have 5 teams. For co-ed 1, the top 3 teams get by. So right now you have the Lose at 6-3, you have the Merge at 6-4, and you have Tea Party at 6-4, and then you have Lego My Flag at 3-6, and you have the Mismatch at 3-7. So pretty much there's only 2 games left going on, and that's going to take place on Saturday, I believe, at 2 p.m. You're gonna have the Woos versus Lego My Flag. Mathematically speaking, it doesn't really matter what happens. If the Woos end up winning that game, they go to 7-3 and they keep the number 1 seed. If they end up losing that game, they go 6-4 and they end up keeping that seed. So for them, it doesn't make a difference. And for Lego My Flag, if they win that game, they go 4-6 and they keep that seed. And if they lose, they go 3-7 and they keep that seed. So technically, this game does not matter. What kind of matters, I guess, it's as players to kind of get stats to try to get a all-star reward, or some type of all-star reward, or like so some type of all-star award. Kind of looking at it, and I don't want to kind of get into that as much, but that's pretty much these 2 teams are going to be playing for, and I guess to kind of go into playoffs with some momentum. It's the difference between this year and this season, the other season. Like, a lot of games kind of happen pretty fast, as in we're starting playoffs start on August 10th, and the road show is the 22nd to 23rd, I want to say. I believe that's, yeah, so those are the 2 days. So like, it's 13 days to pretty much, but the first week of playoffs is August 10th. starts on Monday, and then the road finals is going to be on the Saturday, Sunday. So it's going to be in basically 13 days, where a lot of teams are going to be playing 2-3 games. I think some teams maybe play 4, so it's going to be pretty fast. A pretty fast time frame. How many games will be played? So you don't have a huge break compared to some seasons where you don't play for a couple, like maybe you don't play for a couple, like maybe not a couple weeks, but like you don't play a week and then you play a next playoff game, and then depending if you're gonna buy or not, like sometimes it's longer than you would think. So that's pretty much it for co-ed one. Again, as I was saying, 5 versus 4 is going to play versus the quarterfinals. So you're going to have Lego My Flag versus this mismatch. And then the winner of that game is going to play the Woos. And then the Merge and Tea Party are pretty much set up to play versus each other. And that's going to be a good matchup in the 2 seed versus the 3rd seed. And then winners that will end up playing in the road show with the championships. So that's it for co-ed 1. And I'm going to go down to co-ed 2. So kind of just looking at co-ed 2 here. So co-ed 2, again, very interesting division. We have 13 teams in this division, and 5 teams don't qualify. And this is kind of one thing I like. Like, I'm someone, I talk to Brent about this all the time. Like, I hate the fact that sometimes you go in divisions where, like, yeah, you have 6-7 teams and like everyone makes playoffs. Like, I get the fact, like, yeah, it's cool to make playoffs, but I think there should be a point where, like, one team, like, I think one team should always be punished for not making playoffs to make it more interesting, where, like, you can't have a bad season and feel like, okay, well, we had a bad season, we're gonna make playoffs, and then you decide to turn up and then you end up winning a championship. I think that's stupid. I think, like, if you have a bad season, like, unfortunately for you, like, sucks to suck, like, you don't make playoffs, and then next season you kind of have to start winning games. So in this division, again, it's pretty deep. There's 13 teams. 5 teams don't make playoffs, and it's to a point where right now we're kind of looking at the standings. 8 teams make playoffs here. If you're kind of looking at it, so the top 4 teams are pretty much clutch. Like, you have Plenty of Fish that are 9-1. Again, shout out to Plenty of Fish. We kind of talked to them about last season. They had an amazing season. They ended up losing 1 game, but again, 9-1 is amazing for them. Usually there's a team that they play co-ed 1, they kind of struggle. They usually go like 2-7, 3-7, and they just kind of have, like, it's not the greatest for them. Then you have the rookies. The rookies, I believe, is a new team, or I think they played co-ed 3 last season. So they kind of made that jump to co-ed 2. So also a good shout out to them. They're kind of dominating this year as well too. They're 8-1. They have one game left, and we're going to talk about that after. Then looking down, you have the 3rd, 4th, 5th seed is pretty much locked up as well too. But then if you're looking at the 6th, 7th, 8th seed, all these teams are kind of in a situation, just because you have Trouble in Paradise right now that's in the 9th seed, and they're 4-5. So Easy Fun ends their season at 5-5. Then you have Speed Academy. What's their mix? They call themselves Speed Academy Mix. They're 4-5. And they're on a 3-game loss streak. So we're going to also talk about them in a second here. Then you have No Pads, No Helmets, just Balls, I believe that's their team. Yeah. So they're also in 4-6. And then you have Trouble in Paradise. That's Trouble in Paradise, that is in 4-5. So mathematically, kind of looking at it now, Trouble in Paradise could jump No Pads, No Helmets, Just Balls if they end up winning that game. I'm going to look at the schedule here just to kind of make it a bit easier. So Trouble in Paradise plays Shark Attack. Shark Attack, I would like to say, is at the bottom of the bunch. They're 2-7, so they're pretty much, their season's over. So they're just pretty much playing for pride, which is huge for Trouble in Paradise, because it means that's a winnable game. Then the rookies play Benchwarmers. Right now, Benchwarmers are 0-9. They're not having a great season. I was actually watching their game. Yeah, I don't understand how they're in co-ed 2. I'm not sure if they had some roster situation here. We had Neil Wright at quarterback. I think he was kind of just getting like a feel of it for co-ed. I don't think he played co-ed. This is his first year, but for them to kind of jump into co-ed 2, I think maybe they felt like their roster was good enough for it, but they definitely should have been a co-ed 3 team. But again, it's a lesson learned. Maybe they kind of realized that maybe they felt like co-ed 2 was going to be a bit easier for them instead of going co-ed. Well, maybe they felt like co-ed 3 was going to be a bit too easy for them, so they kind of made the jump to co-ed 2. But I'm sure they would probably, if they could go back in time and they kind of could see what happened, they definitely would have went to co-ed 3. But again, it happens a lot of teams where you kind of make that jump, or you feel like your team is good enough to play in division. You have a horrible season, and it's kind of like it's a learning set. You're like, okay, well, this is not for us. Let's go into co-ed 3. Let's kind of go backwards and kind of see where we go, and then you progressively go forward. But for them, not the greatest season, but hopefully they get a win, because right now they're 0-9. They play the rookies the rookies are looking to go 9-1 and their season. So I mean, it's going to be tough for them, but we'll see. And then we have Double Dip versus Speed Academy Mix. So those are the last 3 games. Speed Academy Mix again is also a team that's 4-5, so they also would like to get a win. If Speed Academy Mix could get a win, Trouble in Paradise get a win, they pretty much knock out no pads, no helmets, just balls, which their season's pretty much done, because right now they're 4-6, so they're kind of just waiting to see what's happening. I personally think Trouble in Paradise is going to beat Shark Attack, so they're going to make that jump. And then you get Speed Academy Mix, which they're playing. Speed Academy Mix is playing. I just said it. Speed Academy Mix is playing Double Dip, and right now Double Dip is 6-3, so they're safe in the playoffs. They're just trying to make a little jump. If they win that game, I believe they could jump into the 3rd seed. So for them, that's definitely a big game for them. I think they would feel better to be in the 3rd seed other than the 5th seed, avoid some matchups going into the playoffs. And then, so let's just say, example, Speed Academy Mix ends up losing that game. They finish 4-6. No pads, no helmets, 4-6. Trouble in Paradise wins that game, so they get a 5th win. And then, so they kind of make that jump. We're gonna have Speed Academy Mix and no pads, no helmet. Both have 4-6, and then it's gonna go by head to head. So Speed Academy Mix ended up being no pads, no helmets. So luckily for them, they will jump no pads, no helmets. So no pads, no helmets is actually in a really bad situation where they're gonna need to hope one of these teams just lose. So they're hoping for Speed Academy Mix to lose and Trouble in Paradise to lose, and pretty much actually no, they need Trouble in Paradise to lose. They need them to. If they end up winning, they end up winning Speed Academy. Yeah. So if Trouble in Paradise ends up winning, they're going to knock out no pads, no helmets. And if they end up losing, no pads, no helmets going to keep into that 8th seed. And then we'll have our 8 teams going to playoffs. Going to playoffs, it's the 1 seed versus the 8 seed, and then so on. So 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5, and then so on. And I believe there's reseeding. So it's not a bracket where you're gonna have the 1 seed, 8 seed. It's pretty rigid seeding. So if there's an upset for some reason, the number 1 seed gets the benefits of it. So that's pretty much it for co-ed 2. I do kind of want to talk about I kind of was saying I got to see Benchwarmers. Easy fun. Got a pretty decent win in that game. Benchwarmers, just it looked like they were kind of just missing some players and just missing some umph, I would like to say. Again, at the end of the day, it's to a point where, yeah, you guys are 0-9, not really playing for much at this point. You kind of know your playoff season's it's over with. But again, you have 1 more game left. We'll try to finish the season finish the season strong, and then come back in the fall and kind of reset and kind of think and realize, like, maybe, okay, co-ed 2 is not for us. Let's go into co-ed 3 and kind of go from there. I'm gonna jump into co-ed 3 now. I'm just gonna kind of go from co-ed 1, co-ed 2, co-ed 3. Brent should be with us shortly, and we're gonna talk about some things as well too. Okay, so co-ed 3, again, playoff standings, which I love to see. 9 teams in this division, and we have 6 teams that make it. So unfortunately for the 3 bottom teams that are not going to make it, we actually already have the teams that are making it, because Flag Me Daddy, Fatties, and Les Moines are 3-6, 2-7, 0-9. They don't have the possibility to jump the top 6 teams, which is the Woos, Les Maule, Les Flag, Michael Scott Tots, All Day Every Day, Back That Pass Up, and Phantom Troop. Those are the teams that are on the top seeds, and they have too many points for them to get jumped. So right now we do have 3 games left to be played in the regular season for week 12. We have Flag Me Daddy, Fatties, Le Moi Moi versus the Woo, and then the Maule Flag versus Mike Scott Tots. Some of these games, I don't think it makes a huge difference in the standings. The top 3 teams are pretty much secured. Phantom Trope. They're 8-2. They're going to stay on the number 1 seed. Back That Pass Up is going to be in the 2 seed. And All Day Every Day is going to stay into the 3 seed. I guess they have and Back That Pass Up end up beating All Day Every Day in the regular season. That's the reason why they're the 2nd seed, and All Day Every Day is in the 3rd seed. Michael Scott Tots right now are in the 4th seed. They Moy, the Le Flag are in the 5th seed, and the Woos are in the 6th seed. They all share the same record, 5-4, 5-4, 5-4. So these teams actually could all make a certain amount of jumps. Michael Scott Tots, we'll talk about them first. Or we'll talk about them first. They play Les More Than a Flag, so the winner of that team is gonna make the jump or make the downgrade, depending how it is. They Woos play Les Moi Moi, so that's gonna be an interesting game. I think the Woos are gonna win that game as well too. So I mean, they should get that jump. And then Flag Me Die play Fatties, where that's pretty much a pride game where you have the bottom, you have two bottom teams where Flag Me Daddy's looking to go 4-6, and Fatties are looking to go 3-7 to kind of just end their season on a high note. We actually got to watch the Woo versus the Michael Scott Tots on Instagram, where they kind of had a couple highlights for both the teams. We end up coming down to overtime, and we got to see. I believe the score was 21-20. Or Michael Scott Tots end up getting a 1-point convert to kind of win the game for their team. Or maybe it was a 2-point convert. I think it was a 2-point convert where they ended up winning that game in overtime. So that was interesting to see. Maybe we have a rematch matchup going into the semi. Would be into the core. Looking at it, it would be into the 1-2. It would be into the semis. I think these teams would play again, depending on the 1, 2, 3, 6, 4, 5. Actually, you know what? They actually could play in the quarters. So they could play in the first round. So maybe you never know. They just played versus each other week 11, and maybe they'll end up playing versus each other week 13, which is going to be interesting to see. I think that game was pretty good. Again, we kind of had some highlights on FPF Instagram, on FPF Instagram. And then again, I think the defenses of both teams kind of came up. I was thinking maybe that game was going to be a lot more high scoring. I kind of was watching it a bit from the sideline because I had a game that I was playing in. But I didn't get to catch the overtime. But again, Michael Scott Tots won that game 21-20, and then you never know, maybe we could have a matchup between both these teams in the quarterfinals. Looking at the playoff breakdown for quad 3, again, number 1 and 2 seeds do get buys, so we're gonna have Back That Pass Up and Phantom Troop are gonna get the number 1, 2 buys, and then we have the 3rd seed versus 6th seed, 4th seed versus 5th seed. Again, we don't know exactly who's going to be the 4th, 5th, and 6th seed because all these teams are tied right now, depending on who's going to be who. Where you do have Michael Scott Tots versus playing versus Juan de la Flag in the week 12. So the winner of that team is going to be jumping up. But at the end of the day, you do make the jump up, and you'll end up playing the 4th, 5th seed. So like it might not even make a difference depending on the situation, where one team's definitely going to jump each other. They're going to go 6-4. Other team's go 5-4. But if the Woos end up winning, it's going to go into the 4th versus the 5th seed, and then the 6th seed versus the 3rd seed. So again, who knows? Maybe there also could be ties too. So there's still a bit of stuff that could go down. But we know the 1 and 2 seed are locked up, and the 3rd seed all day, every day is going to be playing the 6th seed at the end of the day. Fortunately, again, I was saying, Flag Me Daddy, Fatties, and the Moi Mois. Your season's pretty much over. You're gonna have 1 game left, and again, I was kind of saying like end the season strong, and then kind of regroup. Like you're playing in co-ed 3, maybe again. Flag Me Daddy's a decent team. Fatties again, they've been playing for a bit now, and the Moi Mois, I think that's a team. Maybe co-ed 4. I believe there's co-ed 4 this season. Maybe it's time to make it drop down. Win some games in that division and make it jump, and then you jump up after, because again, it's to a point where if you're going to like 2-8, depending, depending how the games go, I know sometimes a team kind of struggles and it's like you lose games by 1 point score. But Fatties, Les Moi, especially those two teams, it seems like you guys are struggling a bit. So maybe you make that kind of jump up to to Coed 4. You get some wins there, then you kind of make the last jump up to Coed 3 after, and you kind of just go from there. A lot of teams do that, and then they kind of go from there. So we're gonna finish with Coed 4, be the last Coed team to kind of go through. So for Coed 4, not that many teams. We actually have 7, which one team doesn't make playoffs, which I do love again. And people are always like, like everyone should make playoffs, but like, no, I honestly feel like at least one team should make, just to put some pressure on a lot of these teams. So kind of go again, Coed 4, 7 teams are in this division. And we actually have, depending on the 2 bottom teams, so we have Sac-Appeal versus Les Moines. Sac-Appeal is 2-7. Les Moines are 1-8. They end their season versus Catch My Balls. I just have to see if Les Moines played Sac-Appeal in the regular season. So Les Moines beat Sac-Appeal in the regular season. So if Les Moines could win their last game of the season, Sac-Appeal is going to play versus Too Fast Moimi. So they're going to play their last game versus Too Fast Moimi. They're 6-3. So it's going to be, it should be a hard game for them. But if Les Moines could win versus Catch My Balls, if they can win that game, they will jump Sac-Appeal and they'll get into the 6th seed. And then Sac-Appeal will be unfortunately knocked out. And then we'll have our 6 teams for Coed 4 playoffs. And again, I was kind of saying number 1 and 2 teams get by. Looking at the quarterfinals, it's going to be 3rd seed versus 6th seed, 4 versus 5, and then reseeding will happen if there are some upsets. So it's interesting to see, because sometimes you kind of, in some divisions, teams are pretty much to a point when if you're 1-8, you don't have a lot of chances to make playoffs. But in this situation, Les Moines do have a good chance to make playoffs. All they have to do is win their game, and then hope Sac-Appeal ends up losing their game, and they'll make that jump up, and they'll be able to go to the dance. So again, you don't really see that quite often, where a team that's struggling as bad as they did, as they did, be able to have a chance to make playoffs. So looking at the schedule again, both these teams play on Thursday. So we have one team, Sac-Appeal versus Too Fast Miami, is going to be playing today. And then we have Les Moines playing Catch My Balls as me playing on Saturday, which is going to be August 8th, and that's going to be at Loyola. And on Thursday, which is today, is going to be in Laval. So we're going to have to just kind of wait and see what's going to happen, but it's going to be interesting to see how this Coed 4 playoffs is going to be. All right, so I believe Brent is ready to come on. He should be here. Brent?
I'm here. Yeah, I'm here.
Hey,
I'm
how
here.
are
I'm
you?
here. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Welcome.
Yeah.
So
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you.
yeah, so I think you were kind of hearing me talking about if in the division where if you're 1-8, there's not a lot of, like, imagine you're talking to a team, yeah guys, we're 1-8 and we win our next game and we need the other team to lose their game, we're in playoffs. It's something you don't like,
Yeah.
you don't hear often, but I guess it does. Sorry, go.
Sir? No, no. I was gonna say that's like the beauty of FPF, right? I mean, like usually when you're 1-8, you're getting ready to end the season on hopefully a high note. You could at least win your last game or something like that. But I mean, hey, this is why we play the games, right? These guys are still alive. Like I said, they got to win and get some help. And if Sac-Appeal can win, or if Les Moines, like I said, can win and get some help, somebody's got to make that last playoff spot, right? Someone's got to get in. So it's going to be one of those 2 teams for sure.
Yeah, so we'll see. So just because you're just kind of getting here, I went through competitive 5v5. I talked about that, and I just finished competitive Coed 1, 2, 3, and 4. So went through 2 divisions. I was gonna go to Coed 5v5 and just kind of bang that out, so all the Coeds are kind of done with. That's the next thing I was going to.
I just want to say one thing quick. I had a chance to score keep this past Tuesday, and Bassard, the Vicious and Delicious against game. I've talked about Flamingos before. I've never actually scored kept them. I've been on a field when they've been playing. I'm playing myself, or I'm scorekeeping in another field. I've seen them kind of, I guess, from afar, for lack of better words. But this is the first time I actually got to scorekeep this team, and they're not only fast. We've talked about like Susanna, Eliza, Gabriel, Ryan Wade, they're skilled as well, and they're deep. This is a really deep team. I came away impressed. They won that game 39-28 over Delicious. There's a couple of times in the game where it was a little back and forth. Made a mistake here or there, but they pulled away. And I'll tell you what, man, roster. So at least on Tuesday they had, counting here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. They had 15 players playing. And out of those 15 players, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of them were rookies. 12 of them, pardon me, were rookies out of the 15 people that were playing. And this team, they look like they belong. I had a chat to my buddy Dylan Boudreau, the quarterback of Vicious and Delicious. He's like, this is the one team I haven't beaten. And I looked at this Vicious and Delicious roster, right? Him, Boudreau, Anthony Robichaud, Samuel Miranda, who actually had a really good game. They could ball. So Nisa, who's kind of like a part-time keeper, part of the league as well. She has experience. Daphne Boucher, I came away from Mia LaFontaine. My whole point is they have a lot of experience on this Vicious and Delicious team. They couldn't stop Flamingos. Like I came away pretty impressed with Flamingos. So yeah, that's all I gotta say about them. And again, they got the win. It's 39-28. Hopefully, there's not an echo. I can see the chat. I apologize if you at home if there's an echo, but can't really do anything about that right now. I don't think. Hopefully not. I should say, but.
No, exactly. I understand what you're kind of saying with that team. I believe they're playing. Or not, you're not probably going to answer me, but I believe they played last season too, where we kind of talked about them. And again, to kind of also talk about Vicious and Delicious, I watched them play a bit too. It's pretty much they pretty much merged the girls from Champlain, not Cavaliers, but the other Champlain team. They put them together, and then they have the roster from their division. This is the roster from their Division 6A team, or 6AB team they had. They kind of put them together, which again, I play against that team, and they smoked me and my kids. And then it's not because like we weren't good; it's just they were good chemistry. The quarterback Dylan had a good formate, like he had a good system, and everything kind of worked. So for them, everything worked out. So if you bring those guys together, and then you bring the girls that are already competing at pretty much, I believe they compete women's 2. I think some of these girls could play women's 1, looking down the stretch. And right now they're in co-ed 4, right? So for a team like that, Delicious, very strong team. And then again, we're kind of talking about you were talking about the rookies as well too. We saw them play. Sorry, we didn't get to see them play, but we talked about them last season. I want to say it was
I think you're
sorry,
right.
Flamingos. I think they played last season, I want to say, or maybe this is their first season.
Hold on, I tell you in 2 seconds. But I will say, like, again, with this Flamingos team, like, besides them being deep, like, just like the quarterback Ryan Way, I won't lie, I had not seen him play. I had not seen this guy play until this past Tuesday, and I was like, damn, like this guy. Yeah, they played last year in co-ed 3.
Okay.
Last spring, and then they played last winter in co-ed winter 2025. Actually, they played in winter 2025, winter 2024, winter 2023, and it's the whole thing. Again, these players can ball. Like I came away impressed, and everybody on that team made an impact. It's not like, I mean, again, they're 15 players, and not like, there's about 2 or 3 or 4 players who do nothing and they're along for the ride. No, like from like Alicia Hebert, pardon me, all the way down to Alexi Grenier. Like everyone made an impact. There's the snapper. I gotta say, because I'm trying to learn how to snap a bit this season. It's not going that great, but I saw, give a shout out to number 2, Sophie Kuzam. She was snapping and it was like a bullet. Like she got the ball back like
like that in like a tight spot. I was impressed with her, and it's all that to say this is a really good team. Alexandre Montpellier as well, big play guy. This is a team who I think going forward, they should probably move up to co-ed 3 next year. I hope they come back in the winter as they did last winter and play. And I think like there's only bigger and better things for the squad because again I came away really impressed not just with the depth but with the speed and the athleticism that was present on this team, and some of those girls should be playing women's too if they aren't already. And but same thing for Vicious and Delicious, like I said, like obviously like Daphne Boucher, that was really impressive for her. She really balled. Like her and Mia LaFontaine, who I had not seen before. She's the one that gave me the rosters. Kind of well, she's trying to get a trying to get actually a flight, but anyways, my bad. But I ended up asking her about the roster and whatnot, and like I came away, I hadn't seen her play before. She was really impressive too. So like both teams are good. Like I said, Dylan Boudreau, like I said earlier, he's like that's the team I haven't been able to beat yet. Still is 0-4 and trying to beat them, and I hope that these two teams. I mean, looking at the standings right now for the playoffs, right? I'm hoping they lock horns because again it's 1-2, right? Flamingo's 9-1, top spot. Vicious and Delicious 7-3. They're locked into the number 2 seed, right? So I hope down the road in the postseason we'll see these two teams go head to head again.
Yeah, that'd be something good to watch, especially in the. I mean, they're not going to play versus each other in the semis, but they could find each other in the finals, right? And I feel like
Yeah, for sure,
that would
for
be a
sure,
pretty good final matchup to watch if we end up seeing these two teams.
100%, 100%. So
So
yeah, you
again,
want to go to co-ed 5v5? You said
yeah, I'm gonna go code
sure,
5 just to kind of get all the co-eds out the way. Not much
sure.
to say about co-ed 5v5. Again, looking at the schedule from going to week 11, we had some matchups. We actually had a incident that ended up happening that same day, but we'll
Yeah, no,
kind of
no, we'll
maybe
get into that.
yeah, we'll definitely go. I
We'll get
think
into that.
yeah,
Yeah,
we'll definitely go
yeah,
into that.
we'll get into that.
But week 11, so we had active played Maple Syrup. Active won that game 46-38. We had Airbuds play IG Team. Airbuds won that game 32-13. You had Flagmois play Tuski. Flagmois won that game big 41-14. And then Tuski played Maple Syrup, where they won that game 34-0. So that's the game I kind of wanted to talk about. I don't
Yeah,
understand how you score 0
14 points in one
points.
game. Yep,
And it's
that's
not
all.
like, and the thing that's crazy, it's like, okay, you're like, oh, Mark Andre Rees wasn't there. No. Mark
Oh,
Andre Rees, he was there. He did play that
mhm.
game.
Yep.
Sorry, yeah, he played that
No,
game. He
yeah.
13 for 25. He won 141. So maybe it's the point where he got into the red zone through a pick interception. Looking at it, you have William Trotse that had a pick. And don't get me wrong, Tuski's roster was pretty strong going into this game. Uh, they had like all their girls are pretty much former university players. And then they had the 4 guys. You had JD, you had Emil, you had Gab, and then you had William Tutsley, which are all Division 1 team players. Actually, sorry, JD didn't play. I guess he was a did not play. But you had Gab, William
Yeah.
Tutsley, and Emil. So you had 3 kind of core guys that play on the same team with the Braves. So I mean, like again, you are playing versus a good team, but you have a no disrespect to Real Surface, like your team is too good not to score any points, So when I saw the score 34-0, I was like, oh, Mark Andrees probably didn't play quarterback. Someone else probably played. They're missing a couple of their players. But again, if you have Victor, Coralie, Maki Joel, Mark Andrees, and Sahar Mode, like you have a decent rusher. Sahar Mode's pretty good. Maki Joel can make big plays. Victor's a good snapper, receiver at times. You have Coralie that's kind of not the greatest receiver, but Mark Andrees understands how she plays and he gets her the ball. And then their defense is not that bad at all. But the fact to score 0 points it's weird, It's kind of weird to say, especially going so close into
Yeah.
playoffs. It's like
Yeah.
it's not something you kind of want to go into.
And
But
not at all. Not I'll be so I score kept that game.
okay,
I was yeah, I was a scorekeeper for that game, and I can tell you. So yeah, Mark Andre Reeves, Mark Andre Reeves, like you said, 141 yards. But I'll tell you what, there was a ton of drops. His girlfriend, obviously, Coralie, dropped out of the 9 targets she got, she dropped, I think, about, well, I don't want to say she dropped the 5 incompletions that went her way, but she dropped at least 3 in them. I can tell you that 100%. Mary Joelle Vandell, she did come a little late to the game. She got there, I think, the second or third offensive drive of the game. So she, credit to her, she just came in street clothes, dumped them off, and went onto the field and started playing, no stretching. I was like, all right, cool. Alessandro Daniel, he's a sub on the team. He dropped a couple of passes as well. Victor Boutin, but he dropped 1 or 2. It was just a bad game for the offense. They moved the ball here and there. It's just they would drives would get killed by turnover on
Drops.
downs or by drops.
Yeah.
Yeah. Defensively, they had no answer for Tuski. It was pretty much at least offensively, it was the Gab and Mill show, at least in terms of big play threats. And then you had Mathilde Renault running in the middle of the field. They couldn't stop her. She was like a juggernaut. Will Trache ended up playing a little receiver. He caught some passes as well. Like, it didn't matter who they put at quarterback. They were just throwing dimes, and Maple Syrup had no answer. The interception you're talking about, boy, Will Tremblay, he came like a bat. He came out of nowhere, leaped up with one hand, reeled it in. He made it look like it was like the easiest thing to do in the world. And that drive stalled as well, right? For Maple Syrup. They just looked disconnected on both sides of the ball, multiple mistakes, missed tackles, just an overall really bad game by Maple Syrup and Tuski, who I wrote about them in the article leading up to this game, and I talked about them. Like, right now, Tuski, when their roster's there, like, you can make the argument they're the most dangerous team right now in co-ed 5v5. Like, it's a team I wouldn't want to play in the playoffs. I mean, when they've had their losses, it's usually been because guys and girls aren't there. They're coming off of a tough loss, like you said, to Flamand de Croix. One day earlier on Sunday, they got smoked 41-14, but they haven't won over the IG team. They lost to Maple Syrup a few weeks back, actually, surprisingly. But again, when they have their whole roster there, talking about Tuski, this is a dangerous team, and you guys play them this coming Sunday to wrap up the regular season. I'm really looking forward to what should be a fantastic game between you guys and Tuski and Laval this Sunday.
Yeah, well, depending on the roster, who's going to be there, right? Yeah, I feel like the biggest issue is when at the end of the season, who's going to be at the end of the game, especially a Sunday at 9 p.m. It's not
Yeah,
the most
it's
like
true.
game that everyone wants to be, especially looking at the standings. A lot of like I'm in a lot of group chats for different teams. To this point, when it comes to week 30, well, last week of the season, to the point like, does the game matter? No. All right, not going to be there. All right, does it matter? Nope. All right,
Wow,
can't be there.
wow,
Like at the end of the day,
wow.
like if it doesn't
I hear
matter at
you.
all,
I
like
hear you. But all right, you're paying for it. But I hear you.
yeah, you're right. You are paying for it, but to the point where like, okay, well, do I really want to go play a game at 9 p.m., finish at 10, drive all the way home, take a shower, gotta wake up in the morning to like you're like, do I really want to do
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Like you gotta think about it. Like that's what I feel like a lot of people are kind of saying. Do I really want to do that? Especially like maybe the teams I'm gonna show up on a roster. Does it really not matter? Compared to, okay, we need to win this game. It's a big game. This gives us the number one seed. This holds number one seed. This makes us not play this so and so. Oh, I want to be receiver of the year. Like there's stuff to go with it, but sometimes it's like, oh, there's no reason to it. You're kind of like, oh, like get subs or something like that. So we're gonna see. I mean, I think our Buds roster, everyone should be there. For them,
Mm,
I'm not exactly sure because again, they have their core guys. Where they have Emil, he's only has 4 games, so he's probably have to be there.
mhm,
JD's only has 3 games, so they're gonna have to. I think he's hurt too. Phil Fahan has 4 games, but he's gonna be gone for Team Canada. They're
mm.
gonna be in a situation where they're gonna be missing some guys, so they're gonna have to like finesse their way or kind of talk to someone about that. Uh,
Uncle Jeff will do them a favor, I'm sure.
Yeah,
He'll do them a favor.
they're
He'll help
gonna
them.
need they're gonna need a favor or some sort of something
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I know Phil Hoff is gone. Like they're in Germany right
yeah,
now, so he's not gonna be there
yeah,
present. So
yeah.
he's not gonna his 5th game. I don't think he's gonna be there for playoffs either because I think they finished. They come back I think it's like till 16th. So well, depending on that, but like I'm sure they'll be like, okay, because you're there, like you'll get the game played. But when it comes to the first round of playoffs, like they're gonna need some sort of roster before going to the playoffs, so semis or whatever. So we're gonna kind of see exactly what happens in that situation because it's 9 games played, right? They're girls, I believe they're pretty much fine with. Looking at it, Medela has their game played. Sahar Corner, she has her game played,
Cormier,
and
yeah. I think
Tamara
Cormier
has her game.
Belanger
Yeah,
as well. Yeah,
Tamara has their game played. So like those are the 3
yeah.
core girls that they've been playing with, and Frederick has 4 games. And Frederick, and maybe should make her 5th game coming up this week. So they should be fine. The
Right,
girls,
right.
they're more their guy situation where it's gonna be an issue. Um, kind of, I guess, looking at the playoffs, right? Everyone makes playoffs in this
Mhm,
division.
mhm.
We're looking at the 1 and 2 seed do get buys. So I believe right now the thing that's kind of interesting is that the IG team still has 2 games to be played. So I'm assuming they play one game today, unless they play Saturday, Sunday. So they play Saturday, Sunday, yeah. So they have 2 games. They have 2 games left. They play active and then they play flag moi. So technically, in their case, they could kind of jump in if they win both of those games. They'll jump in as the second seed and they get a bye. Unfortunately for them, they don't have their quarterback anymore, and they don't have one of their best
Or the
receivers.
best receivers,
Yeah,
exactly.
one of the receiver
Exactly.
defender. So again, it's gonna be interesting to see. I believe again we're kind of talking about before. Same thing in their co-ed situation.
Yeah.
Code one.
Yeah.
I believe
Yeah.
Bucci is the guy that's going to be called up on to play quarterback for them.
Yeah,
Um,
it's gonna be Gucci for sure.
Even with them, they're in a situation where, or maybe the guy Philip or Okal
So
or so.
or Sell. So yeah, you know what? Actually, it might be Philip or I mean, or Philip or Sell or Gucci, one or the other. They're both capable quarterbacks. So it's gonna be interesting to see. So I know I mentioned that. So okay, so let's let the cat out of the bag here for people that don't know. I mean, pretty much everyone knows, especially if you're in a higher division. Obviously, what happened Saturday at Concordia, involving 2 members of the IG team. Obviously, Jordanson, Alexi, and Johnson Alexi, obviously getting into a fight with one of the officials in FPF. Again, this is not breaking. It shouldn't be breaking news at this point, right? We're for Thursday. This happened Saturday. It was definitely an incident that we don't want to see in FPF. Um, Credit to both parties involved. Obviously, the Alexi brothers and one of the officials. I had talked to our commissioner Ben McMahon yesterday. He told me that actually both sides reach out to each other and apologize for what happened. They obviously apologized to the league as well. It was an ugly scene Saturday
Mhm.
at Concordia, to say the least. I know you were there. I was there. We were literally breaking up the fight. It's something again we don't want to see. Let's and so I want to take a second to mention because I know before you did co-ed already, right? So there was another almost scene on Tuesday in Bazaar between Phantom Troop and Flag Me Daddy, where there wasn't any fist throwing, but there was a lot of people getting in people's faces and a lot of tough talk and that over a game. Guys, listen, we're here to have fun. Guys and girls, we're here to have fun, right? We as part of the media, Quaysie and I and Ali Reza, we do this podcast for you guys. This league is here for you guys to play ball, whether you're a current player, you're playing in the Olympics, or you're a former tackle player, or you love playing flag football. This is why we have FPF. This is why it was started over 20 years ago, and this is why it's still here today. Tempers flare, right? Referees are going to miss calls. Players are going to drop balls. Players are going to throw INTs. Players are going to miss tackles. Referees will sometimes make the right call and be accused of making the wrong call, and vice versa. They'll make the wrong call and accused of making the right call, so on and so forth. If you get what I'm saying, right? Punching people and throwing blows and stuff and getting into scraps, like there's no place for that here in FPF. And I personally, I'm going to give you my personal opinion. I think it's a shame because I've of the referee Miles. I've gotten to know this kid. He's a good kid. He's 18. I work. I score. Pardon me. I score keep for a lot of you guys might know Andy Peterkin. He's Emerson and Tyson's dad. Obviously, he's a legend in flag football and touch football, any type of football you want in this province. So he hires Miles, who is his nephew, to do refereeing for kids because we work for kids in the mornings on Saturdays, which is why I'm usually getting to Concordia like 5 minutes before the game starts. We work in LaSalle, right? And we do some scorekeeping for some kids football. And so Miles is one of the referees. I've gotten to know him over the last like 2 3 months we've been doing it. He's a good kid. But he's a kid, right? He has a role to play in what happens Saturday as well. He's definitely not innocent, and he'd be the first one to tell you that. And I don't personally know Jean Lee and Jordanson, but I think they're good guys, and I've had a chance every time I see them on the field. We always say what's up, we dap each other up. Never had a crossword with these guys. I think they're amazing football players, and they seem to be good guys. And I think everyone just kind of got lost in the emotions on Saturday, right? And again, bad calls were made, mistakes by the players were made as well. But to have a scrap and then to get it settled down and to start fighting again, that's
Yeah,
not what we want in FPF. Like that's just it was embarrassing for everybody, the league included, right? So I'm glad that both sides, all three guys, were man enough to apologize to each other and apologize to the league. Hopefully we won't see that again. I mean, again, listen, it's competitive. It's football. Tempers flare, whether it's tackle, flag, two hand touch. It's okay to be mad at people, and it's okay to talk a little trash even if you want. But to have it escalate to what they did on Saturday is inexcusable. And I think all three guys, if they were here right now, would tell you that. I know some guys on their team were a little upset with something I wrote in an article earlier this week, where I called the actions selfish and immature. I'm going to be honest. The actions by all three people were selfish and immature.
Yeah.
Johns Lee and Jordison, again, phenomenal players. Does this kind of screw over the teams? Yeah, to be honest, it kind of does, right? The IG team and the other teams that they play on, right? And in co-ed in 5v5 here, we're talking about co-ed 5v5, and obviously with co-ed 1, it does screw over their teams because let's be honest, those two guys are two of the best players, not just in FPF, but all in the country, period, right? Playing flat football. So to not have them for the remainder of this season, that does screw over your teammates, right? So I'm just saying, guys, like not even these three guys, but just people in general. When things get heated, just take a step back. We're
Yeah.
all paying to play in this league, number one. So it's not like FPF is paying you guys to play. We're paying FPF to participate. Even Quaysie pays for his teams. I pay for my teams, right? Take a step back and be smart about it.
Yeah.
It's okay to be mad. You don't have to like everybody you play against or play with, or you don't have to like every referee. Just take a step back. Avoid talking trash to people, especially when it leads to stupidity, and just take a breath and be smart about it, right? Because we're here to have fun. We're here to run around, play some ball. We all love playing ball. That's why we're here, right? Just be smart about it.
Yeah. 100%. At the end of the day, like the world doesn't stop moving because of what happens, right? Like the next day, I'm pretty sure I was talking to like Emma, and she's like, Grandpa, she's gonna wake up tomorrow, and she's like, oh, like did that really actually happen? Because it's like crazy the fact that it even happened. Then it does the next day, like everything continues going. It doesn't just stop because what happened. You know, like I feel like it was, like I get it. I understand. We're kind of saying a call did get a call didn't get made, but like it's not that deep. It's not that serious for there to be a fight. You know, like at the end of the day, like this is a beer league. You know, like it's not. We're not winning $1 billion. You're not winning the biggest trophy in the world. It's not going to be globalized. Like at the end of the day, you're going home, you're sleeping in the same bed, you're waking up the next morning, you're going to work. Like nothing's changing on that call, or like and the fact that and the matter of fact, like the game was also over too. That even makes it even worse. You know, I would understand like not even I would understand, but like if it was a blown call, you end up losing a game, and it's playoffs, and like you're frustrated, and then your emotions happen. Okay, fine, but like it's a call it was a blown call. It happens everywhere. Happens in the NFL. Happens all over the world. You don't just start okay. Or you start don't get into a rest face and start arguing back and forth. Like you just kind of say, okay, all right, it's a bad call, you know. And I think like now, especially for a player for me, like I think I matured to a point where yeah, there's a bad call. Like I'll like I talk my shit, I talk my talk, but after a while, I'm just like, okay, it's over. Or I like even after the game, I'll be like, I'll go say sorry to the ref, like, oh, I apologize, whatever, and let's heat in the moment. But like I'm not there like grilling you down or staring you down, waiting for you to finish your game. Like it shit happens.
Yeah, well, there's no time for that, man. There's bigger things in life, right? Like, I mean, it's a shame because again, like these are three good dudes. All three guys are good dudes. I like watching, especially John Lee and Jordan. I like watching these guys play. Like every time I watch them play, like I'm amazed because they could do stuff I could never dream of doing half the time, even when I was their age, which I'm clearly not anymore. But like, I think it's fun and it's cool watching these guys be a part of the league, right? I mean, they're a huge part of football. I mean, they're coming off a national championship, right,
Mhm.
at the last tournament, right? And it's fun to watch these guys play ball. And I guess like looking at Miles, I know he plays receiver at John Abbott. He's a good kid. And again, he's not innocent in this either. He made a knucklehead decision as well, which didn't help anything
Mhm.
on Saturday. But all three guys, like again, I don't know what the future holds. I mean, I hope I run into these guys again because again, all three guys are good dudes. Like I want to make that clear. They're not. They had a couple bad lapses of judgment on Saturday, but I'm not saying like disown these guys or these guys should be gone like for forever for the rest of their lives. And we all make mistakes, we all do stupid things, but these are three good people, like the three good dudes. But this Saturday was inexcusable, and I think everyone recognizes that. And I think the three guys themselves recognize it as well. And hopefully, we'll never see anything like that again in FBF. Because again, you just got to be cool, man. You got to be smart. Obviously, the saying "turn the other cheek." It's easier to say after the fact than in the moment. Trust me. But like, like verbally abusing someone and then physically throwing stuff at somebody and then someone going back and then talking trash when things are calmed down and then like
Yeah,
people
it's
were
just
bleeding. But
unnecessary.
there's no, yeah, that's unnecessary. There's no need for it. There were kids on the field. I know Emil Scott brought his kids, like some of the parents in this league do. They bring their kids right to watch them play, which is super dope. There was family members, there was people, there's older people too. You know, around Con U, people came out the gym to see what was up, and it's just not as we can't have that.
Yeah, it's bad.
Like like hopefully some people, some of the higher ups here in FPF come out and say the same thing, but like we don't need that in FPF. We don't want that in FPF. This is not what we're about. We're about a league where you come on and have fun. For some of us, yeah, it is a beer league. For other people, they're training for the Olympics, trying to get noticed. And this is the thing that I think is the biggest shame, besides these being three good people, is the fact that flag football right now has never been as popular. And some of that is thanks to some of the work that Jordanson and Jean Lee are doing, right? Again, with the championship and that, and just in general, right? Well, the popularity amongst the people in the province, amongst the women, it's growing. Obviously, the women's game as well as it is with the guys. Hence, why the sport is in the Olympics. Stuff like this takes away from that.
Mhm.
Stuff like this definitely takes away from that. So that we can't have this. FPF has never been bigger than it has been, and we need to continue to grow this league from the lower divisions as well, not just the higher all the time, from the lower divisions to the middle divisions to the higher, from the 5v5 and 6v6, co-ed and just women's and men's only format, right? We have to grow it all around, and stuff like this puts a stop to that. So again, hopefully this is a one and done thing. We never have anything this ugly again as part of FPF. Because honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it was embarrassing to be part of FPF on Saturday after that all went down. Because people were just walking along the streets and walking through Concordia to the athletics building. They're looking at like, what is this? Like,
Mhm.
this is disgusting, and couldn't really argue with them.
Yeah, for sure. Um, well, moving forward, looking at the
Yeah.
standings, we're kind of talking about the IG team right now. I mean, like, I feel like their roster is still decent enough to win games.
Yeah.
Their
Yeah.
women's are good
Cool.
enough. Are they going to win the next two games? I'm
Yeah.
not sure. I think maybe they go 1-1. But if they do end up winning at least one of these games, I believe because their team played so well defensively right now, they are the best defense at 225 with 2 games left. So I think if they can at least win one of these last 2 games, it will secure them a spot as the number 2 seed, and then they'll get a bye. Looking at the playoff breakdown, I was kind of saying 1 and 2 seeds get by, then 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5 are going to be playing versus each other. Hopefully for Maple Syrup, uh, again, it's still tricky to see who's going to get the 3rd seed, who's going to have the the 3rd seed's more is going to be the tricky part on the situation between, because Active has a game left, Flag Moi has a game left, and Tuski has a game left as well too. Maple Syrup is dead on the 6th seed. They're 2-8, so they'll play the 3rd seed moving forward. And if they end up getting that upset, they'll play the number 1 seed. But they're pretty much stuck in that 6th seed no matter what. So for them, they're gonna have to knock out the best team and then the best team, and then make their way up to the finals and probably play one of the better teams. So long path for them. But again, I think they are Maple Syrup is a team that usually is one of the top seeds. We're usually talking
Yeah.
about them a lot. They're usually 8-1, 8-2. Sorry, 9-1, 7-3. They're one of the top teams. So I think this is the first year that they're struggling as much as they are. I think they're able to bounce back. Again, playoffs is completely different than is the regular season. So for them, well, maybe a first round upset for them. No, I wouldn't even say the upset because they're good enough to be a team that should be in the 3rd seed, 2nd seed, 1st seed. But it's gonna be an interesting matchup to see who's gonna be playing against them, and then also to see if IG team is gonna be able to clutch that number 2 seed and get a first round bye.
Yeah, yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see again. Like you said, I mean, IG team again. Not to go on and on forever about them, but obviously given the circumstances. I mean, listen, they've gotten a breakout season for like Hadia Kana Lynch, Charlene Vixamar when she is there. She's proven that she can ball. Obviously Fritz Senites. That's going to be key. If they can get Fritz back of in the lineup because he only has 3 games played. He needs to be there at the next 2 games to qualify for the regular season. That's a huge addition to this team, right? If he can be there, Victoria Bouchard as well. Like I've been watching her this season. She has some speed and she's getting better every game. So like you said, their ladies can ball. And obviously we talked about Gucci. Philip Orcel has 4 games played, so he's gonna have to show up to one of those last 2 games to qualify. So I think they'll be okay at quarterback. They're not gonna have Jean Lee, which is a huge loss, but it's not like they're gonna have like a gigantic drop off where they have nobody, right? Like it's not gonna be like me or you're throwing throwing, or well, actually, you're not a bad quarterback, but it's not like they're gonna have me throwing or somebody who has no business being quarterback, right? So we'll have to see what they do. It's gonna be interesting though to see what they do indeed going forward. But looking at this division, right? I mean, like you said, there's maple syrup. Uh, the most disappointing. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. The most disappointing team in this division, but again, they have championship pedigree. So maybe once the postseason starts, something will hopefully be able to kind of turn on for them, and they'll be able to get it done. And like I said, you guys are obviously running the division. So you guys kind of control your own destiny. One game left, like you said, against the IG team. Activated again. That's a team who a lot of people think could go all the way. Activated, definitely talented. They have one game left. Same thing. Fly Mod, the quad veteran team with championship experience. We'll have to see what they do. And then Tuski, like we said, right? Tuski right now is playing some pretty decent ball. We'll have to wait and see. All right, so I just want to say, I want to go back to Saturday for something. This is for someone out there that might be listening. If you're standing by the fence and I'm trying to keep the fence closed when people are trying to fight, move out of the way. Move out of the way. Simple as that. If I tell you to move and you stand there and look at me like, well, what are you? Why are you yelling at me? I can't go anywhere when I'm actually making a path for you so you don't get hit by the fence or one of the flying fists. Move out of the way and don't look at me like I'm speaking another language to you. Like you don't understand what I'm asking of you. Because this person, and she knows who she is somehow now like she got mad at me. I'm not going to go into details to throw somebody under the bus, but common sense is not so common sometimes, but sometimes you need to find it nonetheless and just move out of the way before you get hit by a fist or a fly or a steel fence when I'm trying to get you out of the way. Just want to say that. You know who you are. Anyways, yeah, it can be petty sometimes, trust me. This is nice petty. But anyways, moving on.
Women's B.
Here can be 5v5. Yeah, women's B list. Or women's C or women's B.
I was gonna women's B since you kind of score kept one of
Yeah.
the games
Okay, yeah,
yesterday.
go for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go for
So
it.
well, I was gonna say you could go for it because I think you. I kind of watched a bit of it. We got to see Cavaliers versus the Wolfpack. So you kind of say
Originals. Cavaliers and
originals. Sorry, originals. Yeah, you got. Yeah, so you maybe kind of
They're not
say
far off.
what happened.
They're formerly the Wolfpack. Formerly,
Yeah,
Wolfpack was
true.
the originals. So you're not too far off. Yeah. So this game, it was entertaining. It was Tuesday at Brassard. Two teams. So again, the one unfortunate thing about women's B is a lot of these teams, well, maybe fortunate or unfortunate, depending how you want to look at it, right? These teams that played each other. I want to
Last
say,
week.
yeah, last week. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, last week. I'm trying to see. I feel like they played each other another time, but yeah, I'm wrong on that one. My apologies.
Close.
So they played each other last week at Papineau. So I score kept that game, which was also close, 21-7 victory for the Originals, which it was closer than the score would indicate. So they meet literally a couple days later, and the Originals get the victory, but the Cavaliers really made them earn it, really made them fight for it. I won't lie. It was a much better performance. I'll give a shout out to Adriana Valiente, the quarterback for the Cavs. She was pretty bad in that first meeting. She took like 9 sacks, just was not getting rid of the ball at all. Her teammates were telling her to throw it away because, again, don't forget, in women's for the 5v5 format, there is no intentional grounding. I'm not sure why she took that many sacks, but it is what it is. She's new. She's a rookie, I believe, or very inexperienced nonetheless. So she's learning as she goes. But she was much better in this game, getting the ball out a little quicker, not taking as many sacks. This time she only took 2, which was a huge improvement on the week before. She put the balls in her players' hands. So Maule Jolie, I know I talked about her with you briefly on the sideline. She was balling out again like she did last game. Sophia Othello, Matthias Jackson Winter, and there was also Julianne De Palma. Those ladies came and they put up some pretty decent numbers. There were a couple of drops. I'm not going to say they were perfect. There were a couple of drops by the Cavs receivers. There's also a couple of missed throws by the quarterback for players who were open. But I will say that this team, like, listen, are they the most talented? No, they're not. Hence why the record is what it is. I think they're 1-8 right now. But listen, they're trying. They're a bunch of young kids, basically, for the most part. I've mentioned Julia Dos Santos a couple of times. I think she's one of the captains of the team, definitely the leader of the defense. They kind of follow her direction, and she's tough and she's physical. I love her style of play. There's Emma Gold. And so now her last name, you're welcome for that. And she said thank you ahead of time. Her last name is not correct on the website. They had it as Gold, I think Goulde. And she's like, nah, it's Gold. Like the former field goal kicker for my Niners, Robbie Gold, same thing, Gould. She made a lot of plays. She had 5 tackles, 2 pass deflections. Dos Santos had an INT. Eloise Vio had an INT as well. Sophie Wong, she made a lot of plays. She was rushing. She was using her speed over the field. I came away impressed. Like this is a team, so I know Amy Hughes is like their player slash coach. She was not there on Tuesday, and so I was listening to some of these girls on the sideline. They kind of had some other players who weren't playing. They were kind of coaching them,
Hmm.
helping with the rosters and stuff, and like they're good. They just like their quarterback needs more experience, and I think the team as a whole needs more experience. But they're scrappy and they don't quit. Like even I said they were getting blown up by Hugo 62-0 a couple of weeks ago. They didn't quit then either. So I always appreciate that with the team, and I think hopefully they come back. One maybe not the fall because of school and whatnot, but like whenever they decide to come back, I think they'll be even better for it.
Yeah, they'll be back in the winter. I'm pretty sure. Again, this is reps for
Yeah,
them,
yeah,
right? They're a
yeah.
team. They play 7-on-7. I believe.
Mm-hmm.
7-7 is probably going to die out sooner or later. We're just going to go to 5v5. So the more reps possible for 5v5s, the better. But they prep for their 7-on-7 season, and then when again they're probably going to start camp in the next couple of weeks anyway. So this is just kind of to get the reps in, to kind of get the chemistry kind of going. If they have a new quarterback coming in, just receivers defensively, it's a bit different 7-7 5-5, but the concepts are still kind of there, and you still kind of have to make the same plays that you would make on 7-7 5-5. The field's bigger, but like you're still getting the reps in. So I believe they're probably gonna be back in winter. I think they'll probably be back. I think they're probably gonna be in this division as long as there's a lot of teams in it, and you're because it's not the same reps that you get playing versus other teams. Like you play competitive teams, like all these teams are pretty good. You know, Hebo is a very good team. They also a team that plays 7-on-7 in Division 1 for CJEP. The Originals is basically a bunch of girls that used to play CJEP, used to play University. Supernova, same situation.
Yeah.
Wolfpack, same team. La Sorcery as well too. And the Merge is also a team that I feel like some of the girls did also play, but they're a team that they practice. They practice maybe 2-3 times a week. Like all these girls are putting in work. Like it's not like they're playing in division where these girls are just showing up to play. You know, all these girls, all everyone's learning. Everyone's trying to get better. So you're getting the reps in, and you're learning. It's all about learning experiences. So for the Cavs, I think that's why a lot of these teams do play in these divisions, especially these CJEPs that come play FPF, because they're just trying to get better. You know, and it's a difference between you're playing versus grown women that have a lot of experience, playing versus
Yep.
when you're actually
Yep.
playing your own division in CJIP, and you're playing versus, not I want to say girls, but you're playing versus players that won't make play they won't make as good as plays as that you're used to. So like, or the ball's not going to come out as fast as it's used to, you know. So like, let's say you're a
Yep.
defender and you're crashing the flat, and the quarterback makes a crazy throw and you just miss a pick, you know. If you're playing in your CJIP level and you do the same thing, that's a pick six, you know. So it
Oh,
kind of
for
gets
sure.
you
For
it
sure.
kind of gets you a bit better and faster, and you try to just, it's the experience wise. So I think that's one thing that a lot of teams do benefit when they do play in these sort of divisions.
Yeah, by 100%, I couldn't agree more. And you're right, what you talked about, right? Like, there's some teams like the Cavaliers, they look like pretty much, okay, I'm not trying to be offensive, like girls. I mean, they're all like what, early 20s, late teens, early 20s, playing against.
Younger than that, maybe like
eh,
18, 19. Maybe you have the veterans
Okay,
that
well,
maybe 20, but like most of these
there
girls
you
are
go.
18, 19. Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. Yeah, like 18, 19. Okay, let's say between 18 and let's say 20, 21 most at the most, right? Like you're talking about playing against, listen, the Originals, I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but I'm sure there's at least one or two players who are over the age of 30 on that team, right? Or at least they're over the age of 28, and that's not old at all, trust me. Especially for me, that's not old at all.
Wait, you guys,
But like
I did not say
um
that, bro.
no, I'm just saying. Listen, I'm in my 40s, dude. It is what it is, man. So for me, 28. I wish I was 28. It'd be fantastic. But nah. But like a lot of these girls, like Alexi Galarno, God, like Marielle Paradis, like I don't think they're under 25. And if they are, I apologize, ladies. I'm not trying to be offensive. I apologize. I'm just talking about, like, for example, Alessi Galarno, yeah, she works out, and you can tell she works out, right? Like she is in phenomenal shape. By the way, I don't know why she's not playing more in women's one. I know she plays with Fit Squad. I've seen her a million times in co-ed one. And that she all the women's one teams, if you haven't already, or maybe she says no. I don't know if they've asked, but all y'all need to get her on the team. Get
Yeah, she
her,
could.
get Marielle Paradis on your team as well. Marielle Paradis is like, we talked about Mary Joelle Vandell, right? Same thing. Long, fast as heck, can make great plays on both sides of the ball. I'm not sure why they're both not playing women's one.
Well,
And that's not just them, right? There's a lot of good players on that team.
they used to play for the Brutes. They Brute.
Yeah. So the Bruce, yeah. But
Yeah.
that's a while back. So I was looking at that. I was going to say the last time they played was the Bruce. I believe 2024 was last time Garland at least played for the Bruce. And hold on, I was looking at it before. I took it away. Hold on. Yeah, the Brutes. Yeah, that was 2020. 2020 went to 2022. Yeah, fall 2024. Yeah, I
Like
guess that
2
was
years.
just says women's. It's probably women's. And it's been a couple years, right? I'm saying these teams like obviously Sub Zero has their program going, but all these other teams like Cayenne or whoever, like Matrix, whatever, you guys should give Galerno a call and Parody as well, because I don't think he'd be sorry if you do. And again, this team I've been impressed with them all season, right? Did they play their best game against the Cavs? No. They made some mistakes of their own, but they came back when they had to. And I'll give Jessica Banville credit. She saw the openings in that Cavs defense. I'm not gonna lie. I went up to the Cavs and I'm like, you ladies got to take away the middle of the field. She's killing you. Every single first down or big play went to the middle of the field. And I told the Cavs, and their coach wasn't there, so I kind of felt bad for them. I'm like, you guys got to do something about that middle because she's killing you guys over the middle.
Mm.
And Banville just kept on going there, and then they adjusted the defense, and then she started going to the sidelines. And that I like her as a quarterback. Like she's smart. She's pretty accurate. She puts the ball up for her players to make a play. And that defense, they Jade Shem Morrow, they've been together for a long time and they're aggressive, right? Formerly, a lot of these ladies played on the Wolfpack. We talked about that earlier this season. This is a team who I like watching because the chemistry's there. They're in sync and they're all vets, right? They know how to ball and they know where to be, right? So again, two big wins over the Cavs for them. So the regular season is done. So I mean, they have a 6-4 record. Could they perhaps challenge the Hebrew to win it all? Yeah, I think they can. They finish the season only one game behind, and maybe it'll be two after, depending what the Hebrew do against the Cavaliers to wrap up the regular season. But again, I'm excited about this women's B division. I mean, I don't think it's definitely a sure thing the Hebrew are going to run away. Again, Hebrew have been phenomenal, especially on offense the last couple of weeks, but they could be beaten. The Hebrew
Mhm.
could be beaten, and we saw that the sorority beat them just a couple Saturdays ago in Loyola, right? That was a huge upset. So, I mean, they bounced back Hebrew to the credit and later whooping on Supernova 32-7 this past Saturday at Loyola. But hey, I mean, anything could happen, right? This is why we play the games, and I'm excited to see how the playoffs are going to round out for women's B.
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. Again, we're kind of saying it. It's kind of the same thing. I think I've said it like 10 times today. Uh, two teams get by, number 1 seed, 2 seed, and then it's a 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5 again. Cavaliers, fortunately, your season is over. I'm sure they're gonna show up their last game versus Hebrew because again, it's like Egypt versus Egypt. So for them, I think it's
Mhm.
more of a pride thing since they don't play in the same exact division, so they don't usually see these girls never. So this is a good time to kind of see exactly what they're about, and I'm sure it's a game that they probably look forward to playing against. So we're gonna have that for week 12. For the 1 seed versus the 7 seed. Again, Cavaliers are eliminated from the playoffs. So we have the Merge, the Sorcery, Wolfpack, Supernova, the Originals, and Hebrew as going from the 6 seed to the 1 seed. And then we're going to see kind of how things unfold for the last week because there's still 4 more games to be played. It's more Supernova and Wolfpack where the standings could kind of switch up a bit. If Wolfpack ends up beating Supernova, they'll jump in as high as the 2nd seed they could go into. They could bump up Supernova into the 3rd seed, and the Originals will go down as low as to the 4th seed. So it could be a big switch here, and then you never know. Maybe we could also get the Originals versus the Wolfpack early on in the playoffs as well too. I think that would be kind of interesting to see.
Oh, yes, it
Since
would
there
be.
is
Oh, yes, it would.
I wouldn't say it's
Oh,
bad
yeah.
blood, but there's definitely some blood.
Not best of friends. Not best of
Yeah,
friends, I don't think.
so I'd be kind of
That'd
interested to
be fantastic. That'd be
see that
fantastic, actually.
for a matchup. Usually does happen. Like when you're like whenever there's a situation that happens, and for some reason, like let's say there's a situation between two teams. For some reason, it could be the quarterfinals, semifinals, finals. They end
Mhm.
up just somehow meeting each other. Like it's
Yep.
destiny. So we're gonna kind of see if that's gonna happen again. Let's
100%. 100%.
hop into women's C.
Yep.
So women's C again, big division. It's kind of interesting. Remember, I was kind of saying like A Town White playing A Town Black to kind of see who's going to get
Yeah.
into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Um, we're kind of in the same situation because I think they play. We were talking about it before. Going to the final week, you have A Town White versus A Town Black. Then you have Obsidian versus The Rock, and then you have Run Like a Girl versus Lioness. So
Yeah.
interesting fact, right? So A Town White, Obsidian is pretty much locked in as the 1 and 2 seed. So again, going into the
Mhm.
playoff breakdown, 1 and 2 seed get by, so they're gonna get their bye. Even if Run Like a Girl end up getting the last win, um, sorry, A Town, yeah, it doesn't even matter if they get the last win because they'll have the points against regarding the tie break. So, actually, wait, let me before I say that 1 second. I'm
Well, it
getting
depends, right?
confused.
Because you got to go the
If
head
yeah,
to
if they
head
played
matchups, and
versus each other, yeah.
they
Uh,
did.
yeah, they did. So Run Like a Girl actually did beat them twice in the season. A Town
Yeah,
Black.
yeah. They beat Obsidian as
Yeah. So
well.
actually, so they'll actually jump
Uh,
them. So A Town White actually can't afford to give A Town. No, sorry, that's A Town. Sorry, A Town White.
so
Wait, A Town White.
so
I looked at A Town Black.
okay, okay, so I'll give you the Obsidian right now. So Obsidian lost to Run Like a Girl in week one, 25-0. Then Obsidian bounced back. They beat Run Like a Girl 24-12 in week six.
No,
And you
Obsidian's
look,
fine. It's more A Town
yeah,
White versus Run Like a Girl.
okay,
But
okay,
A
okay.
Town White beat them 60-0. I guess there was a forfeit, and they beat them
Mhm.
31-6. So A Town
Yeah,
White
there
is
we go.
automatically getting a bye. Doesn't matter how they go. So technically,
Yeah,
A Town White could give A Town Black a free win, which would automatically get them to playoffs. If they don't do that, The Rock has to basically beat Obsidian, which is going to be a hard thing for them to do. But if they end up winning that
yeah.
game, they will actually knock out Valkyries.
The Valkyries,
Yeah,
yeah.
they'll knock them out and they'll put them as a 7
So
seed, and then we'll have our top 6 teams in. So there's still a lot of football being left to be played.
100%. So this is the question now. So you said maybe A Town White will give A Town Black a win. I mean, they're teammates, right? They all play for a Hunsick, and they're all girls and that. If you're A Town White, would you give A Town Black that win? Or would you be like, screw you guys, tough TS for you. We're on the white team, you're on the black team. Sounds racially divided, but you know what I mean? Like, who cares? Now you guys gonna have to go out if you want to get that win. You guys have to go out and earn it, or
No,
or
I
would you
would
just
give
give
them
them
the
give them
win.
the win?
I'd give them the win.
Ah, look at you being nice. Okay, all
No,
right,
because at the end
all
of the day,
right,
you're technically the same team, or you're gonna be part of the same
yeah,
team, and
yeah,
like you not giving the win can like knock them out of playoffs. Let's just say like in that situation,
yeah,
why
yeah.
end their like why like you're trying to get as much reps as possible, right? Like why end their season?
I hear you, but I
Like
mean,
if there's
you
bad blood, like if it was different, if it was like Division 1 versus Division 2, and it's like you're a rivalry and you guys don't like each other and you guys play for a
yeah,
higher team, like at the end, most of these girls might probably be teammates in the next couple weeks. Like
yeah. They will be for sure. They will be.
why
Yeah.
knock out your teammate? We could be like, oh, by the way, let's both try to make a playoff run here. Why end your season? Like that's how I feel, especially coaching
But
staff too, because both teams are. I think does Tara coach both of these teams?
yeah, pretty much. It's Tara, and there's another person. Actually, she told me the person's name. I can't remember. I apologize. I'll get it for next show. But essentially, it's her and someone else that coaches these teams. Um, but listen, you love trash talking. I love trash talking. Imagine the amount of bragging rights and trash talking you can do if you're A-Town White and you make sure A-Town Black doesn't get into the playoffs. I'd be talking trash from now to the day I graduate, and probably even after that as well. If I
Yeah,
play
but
for a
like,
Hunsick.
yeah, I get that. But I just think it would be a bit different if it was like to a point where you guys play. Let's say it was different team. Let's say A Town White was like Division 1 and A Town
Yeah,
Black was Division 2. Then he'd be like,
yeah.
hey, like fuck off, like screw you guys. Like we're not giving you guys a chance. Like
Yeah,
you
but they
guys are
wouldn't be playing
below
against each
us.
other. But they
But
wouldn't.
like
If that was the case, they wouldn't be playing against each other. If one was Division 1, one was
no,
Division 2.
I get that, but no, I'm saying like
Oh, okay, okay,
as a
okay. I see what you mean.
team,
Okay,
like
yeah,
what
for
during
their
the
team. Okay, my
school
bad.
year,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Okay, my bad. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah.
And they
Okay.
both registered. They have
Yeah,
different
yeah.
coaches. It's like a big
Right,
rivalry thing.
right,
Yeah.
right,
But
right.
like why? Like like I'm sure even Tara would want both her teams to make playoffs. Both have like
Oh, for sure.
a
She's a coach. I
chance.
mean, that of course the coach wants that. 100% she wants that. But I mean, I don't know.
But
I'd be running
yeah,
my
but at the
mouth
end of the
from now
day,
to
if
forever, man.
your coach tells you like, okay, guys, they're getting a win, you're gonna tell your coach, no, they're not. We're not letting them win.
Yeah, absolutely not. You could be going out for beers like 20 years from now. Be like, yeah, remember that time we bust your ass? You couldn't make the playoffs back in summer 2026. There, we bust your ass. You guys are trying to get in. You want us to help you out? Nah, fuck out of here. Nah, none of that. Nah. For me personally, again, I'm petty, so I mean, I'd be like, nah, you guys got to earn this. But at the end of the day, would A-Town White be happy to see A-Town Black in there? I would hope so, because most of them are teammates. But I mean, hey, you never know, right? Someone could be pettier than you and pettier than me, which is pretty petty, and I'd be like, nah, you got to earn that. We're not giving you none. Not a
Mhm,
touchdown. I was gonna say not a field goal, nothing, but obviously not a touchdown, not nothing, not a single thing. But it is what it is.
mhm.
We'll see
Before
what happens this weekend.
Yeah, before kind of going up again, Lion. We kind of talked about Lioness, right? How the struggle they had. I was kind of laughing because it's to a point where this roster changes every single week, where it's just a bunch of different
Yep.
girls.
Yep.
They're 3-6 right now. Looking at
Mhm.
their roster, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. They have 33 players that played on their team. I'll take away one because she has no games played. So I'll take away two. I'll take away three. So that's three girls that did not play. Let me think. Five?
Five?
Oh, Alex Mohai and
Oh yeah.
okay, five. Yeah, I saw the girl. Okay, so it means they said 28. They said 28 girls on this roster that played games. That's a
Yep.
lot of girls. And now girls that are eligible for playoffs, you have one, two, three. Magali, if she just plays next game, so that's gonna be four,
Mm-hmm.
five.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They only have five girls eligible. They're only if Magali plays the last game of the season, they're only gonna have five girls eligible for playoffs.
Yeah, that's crazy. Again, I know they're trying to get people reps and whatnot, get people ready for the bigger season, which matters more to them, obviously. Let's be honest here, but that's crazy. Like, I mean, hey, hopefully they'll get enough players in to play a game. But I mean, yeah, I've never seen. I mean, there's been some big rosters in the history of FPF before. I played with Gino before. God knows he would have like 10 to 12, 13 guys on the team, and maybe only like six would pay. But yeah, I've never seen anything like this. No, I'm being honest. Yeah, this is crazy. All right.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
hey.
it's gonna be. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I'm a team, I'm definitely gonna want to play them because I don't want to say their five girls are horrible. It's just it's not consistent, you know. So it's gonna be very
Yeah, not at all. Not at all. Hey.
it's gonna be it's gonna be very interesting. But I just want to say that. But again, shout out to them. You know, they didn't win a game last season. They won 3 games this season. Doesn't matter if it's different girls, same girls, 10 girls, 12 girls, 13 girls. At the end of the day, it's your brand, your Lioness team that you end up winning games. A win's a win, 2 wins is a win, 3 wins is a win. So we'll see. They have 1 game left, where they play Run Like a Girl. So again, that's gonna be a hard matchup for them, depending who's gonna come. Hopefully Magley does show up, so they actually have 5 girls eligible for playoffs. I'm actually gonna talk to Brianna and kind of like, by the way, you have to tell Magley she has to be there, or you guys are gonna kind of get screwed. Maybe some has a doctor know maybe when this girl got hurt, so maybe they'll have 6 girls, maybe 7. Who knows? But it's gonna be interesting to see how women's C playoffs is gonna end up being.
Yeah, I mean, she should. I mean, I've gotten to know Maglie a little bit. Obviously, she's a scorekeeper as well, and she's usually there Saturdays at Concordia filling in for somebody. So hopefully, I mean, I'm sure she knows, right? I'm sure Brianna and
Mhm.
everyone else and Maglie herself knows she needs to be there. I mean, I'd be shocked if she wasn't there on Saturday, because I've seen her. She's even filled in for me a couple Saturdays ago, and I know she usually fills in for somebody scorekeeping on Saturdays. And I know she told me her boyfriend plays. I can't remember who he is, but her boyfriend plays, I think, on 1 or 2 teams as well. So yeah, I'll be shocked if she's not there on Saturday. Hopefully she will, obviously for the sake of for Lioness.
Mhm. Um, Kind of just finished a women's A, so that's pretty much done.
Mhm.
There's not that much to talk about for women's
Oh,
A. Um,
well,
Interesting fact. Well, okay, sorry. Go. What
mhm.
you're gonna say?
No, no, go.
Oh no, interesting
What's the
facts.
interesting fact?
Blue Pud has 7 games played, so I don't see them playing
Yeah.
3 games this weekend. I know they have 2 that's on the schedule. I know they had 1 game back. I think it was June 12th, where they did end up playing Purple Heat. So I'm not sure if that's a remake game. I'm not sure if that's not something that wasn't synced. I guess we'll find out sooner or later. But I was kind of looking at them like, oh, they're going to play 3 games this weekend. That's going to be kind of crazy to play. That means they would have to play 1 game today, then Saturday, and then Sunday, or today, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or back to back to a point like that. But they only have 2 games scheduled on Saturday at August 8th at 1, and then Sunday at August 9th, and they're playing the Knicks twice. So that's gonna be interesting to kind of see. I believe the Knicks secure the number 1 seed, even if they lose the next 2 games. I kind of want to say they secure the number 1 seed. Interesting fact: Athena. We're kind of talking about it.
Definitely Ryan. Yep.
Talked to one of their teammates. They said that she should be back soon. So, and one of
Mhm.
their teammates, let's just say she's someone that kind of takes care of injuries. So, reliable source. So she should be back. So that's kind of a good sign. Maybe she's not gonna be back for the next 2 games. Kind of take it easy, and then when it comes to playoff, their team should get a bye. So she's gonna get an extra week off, and then she'll be kind of like 3 weeks off, and then she'll come back in playoffs, and then she'll probably play a banged up. I think that's if they have number 1, they'll play a 4th seed. So maybe they'll play like a blue pud. Maybe if Chaos gets an upset, like we don't know yet, right? So we're kind of saying the number 1 and 2 seeds get buys. I believe it's gonna be interesting to see if Purple Heat is definitely going to destroy Sparks. So they're going to go 6-4, and then I don't know what the blue
Showing some
pud
shade
team.
there.
I mean, well, I saw Sparks already comment they need 3 girls on Saturday. I have 2 girls on Saturday, and 1 is a quarterback. So right there, that's not giving me a lot of faith with them. So maybe Purple Heat could jump Birds into that 2nd seed, or maybe the 1st seed if they end up winning those 2 games. Depends on Knicks too. So it's gonna be interesting to see. But what I'm trying to get at is that at the end of the day, Chaos and Sparks are gonna stay in that 5th and 6th seed. Do you see Chaos making an upset against? Let's just say they'll play They'll play Blue Pud. Let's just say. Do you see an upset? Do you think Chaos could do upset there, or do you think?
Yeah, I think so. Because I mean, listen, Chaos, are they having the best regular season ever? No. When they went up to Women's A. It's not their fault. Well, I mean, it's not their fault that Women's A is not as strong as it usually is, but I mean, they're still 3-7, so that tells you it's at least strong enough, at least as far as Chaos is concerned. But again, Chaos with the roster that we talked about throughout the last couple of seasons, right? Doing the podcast, like Allison Sobel, Gigi, Emma, all the right? Yeah, Heidi's on the team. You know what I mean? Like Maryland, they have playmakers and they have experience playing at the highest level, right? Of at least women's 2 and a little bit women's 1 or A, however you want to call it, right? The last couple of seasons, including this one, they know how to win. This Chaos team, they know how to, and they've won multiple championships, right? And for a reason, because they're a talented team, talented group. Blue Pod, I mean, they've had their number in the regular season, but as we know, playoffs are a different animal, different beast. And if I had to put my money on a team who I trusted more in the playoffs, Blue Pod or Chaos, yeah, I'm gonna choose Chaos to be honest.
Okay. Interesting. To be honest, I do think it's a good matchup. I think Chaos is. I would give Chaos the more offensive side, and I'll give Blue Pud the more defensive side. Even though I like,
Which is surprising. That's surprising to me, to be honest. Like just in terms of we've seen Chaos win championships just because of the defense.
yeah, exactly.
And some of the playmakers they have on that defense, you would think you would side more with their defense and their offense, but you're absolutely right. At least this season, you side more with their offense, I guess, against Blue Paul
Yeah,
than their
but
defense.
but I think exactly. But I think I like Blue Pud's defense. I also like the fact that all these girls have been playing with each other so long. Like they literally, it's a team that played with each other in uni, and they kind of made that club team, and it's like around the same base. Same thing for Chaos as well too. Like again, you have Gigi, you have Emma, you have Coralie. Almost
It's all a bunch of former Vanier players, right? Like Maryland,
yeah,
Alton,
exactly. So they're
Lemise.
kind of on the same page as well too when it comes to chemistry and stuff like that. And then you have Gigi as well too. I just think for Allison, Allison's a slinger. Like she could throw 4 INTs, throw 4 touchdowns. She slings the ball. Like she's one of the quarterbacks that are gonna have the most passing attempts that you'll ever see. You know, like she'll throw the ball 40 times, 50 times. Like she's gonna throw the ball. You know, so I kind of just see that, and I just feel like Blue Pod's team that's more gonna be like all around, like not more defensive line, but Emmanuel. Like she also throws the ball. I just think Allison's more of a slinger. You know, like that's gonna be slinging around. I just think like
100%.
I just think it's like offense versus defense, but I think it's gonna again. I think that matchup will be very interesting. I think it's really gonna be based on Allison at the end of the day. I think if she could kind of again, this team just played against each other last week, where Chaos was actually missing Gigi for this game, but
Which is huge. Yeah.
yeah, Gigi and Maryland, they weren't at the game, and then
Oh, there you go.
for Blue Pud, they're missing their quarterback Emmanuel. So again, we had one half. I was talking to Emma. First half, Blue Pud scored 20. Second half, Chaos scored 18, and the game finished 2018. So one team scored 0 points one half, the other team scored 0 points at a half. So it's kind of like interesting to see how they kind of switch
Yeah.
roles. One team played amazing offense, and the other team played horrible offense and good defense, and just kind of switch roles. One played really good offense and bad defense, and then they kind of just switched up. So it's gonna be interesting to see if these two teams play versus each other in the playoffs. I think it'll be kind of interesting to see, but I do think it'll be very close, and I think it'll be a very good matchup for Chaos. If Chaos is going to play any of these teams, I think a team they would want to play against is Blue Pud in the quarters instead of playing a Purple Heat, Birds, or Knicks. Where
for sure.
I think they're
100%. Yeah.
yeah, I think they'll be a bit stronger and faster and just kind of more offensive. Offensively, I think all those three teams are a bit better when it comes to offensive. But maybe Purple Heat not as much because their roster is not consistent. And again, Knicks have been struggling a bit without a quarterback. But if Purple's Heat's full roster is there and everybody's there, Birds' offense is playing well right now. Knicks is, if the quarterback's there, I think their offenses are better than Blue Pud what is right now. But again, Blue Pud's defense is a scary thing to kind of look at, and I think that's the reason why they probably have one of the best defenses in this division.
No, I couldn't agree more. 100%. You're right. I mean, yeah, like I said, hopefully this is a matchup we see in the playoffs. I think both teams. If I'm Chaos, I definitely want to play Blue Pod again. Like we talked about, obviously big game to wrap up the regular season with Blue Pod getting that win there. But he said obviously players missing on both sides. It's gonna be interesting. I think, like you said, Sobo and Bronze, they're both gunslingers, so I'm obviously looking forward to see if they do be able to sling it against each other again and let the chips fall where they may.
Let's go into. Actually, did you score keep any of men's games this past weekend?
Yeah, I score kept. Hold on, let me go back and check here. My score kept Saturday. She's get my tablet. Actually, it's probably a lot easier. Yeah, okay, I'm not gonna go through all these. I'm gonna get my tablet. So let's just get this side over here. Yeah, score kept Saturday. Obviously, I caught you like we talked about earlier, but I did Monday at Papillon and Tuesday at Broussard. A couple of good games actually on Monday night. I'll get to that. Hold on, give me a second. I'll get the iPad.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna go Division A since there's not a lot of teams. Kind of talk about that, and then when you get back, we'll go from the teams that you did. So Division A, not the biggest division standings wise. I'll give you some time. I'll let you kind of look what you gotta look at. Right now, I'm at. Hello. Yeah. I'm just talking about Division A since there's 5 teams. We kind of just could bang it out right away. Everyone makes playoffs. The 1, 2, 3 and C get buys. Again, it's kind of interesting to see. You have One Stop, a team that you're not kind of used to seeing there. They're 9-1, so congrats on the great season. Braves finished the season 7-3. Then we kind of end up the season going to be Easy W versus Vultures to see if Vultures could kind of jump into the number 3 spot and maybe get that last buy, which would be kind of crazy to see. If they don't end up getting that buy, you're going to have a Fins Up versus the Vultures in the first round, and then you'll have the 1 seed versus 4th seed, 2 seed versus 3rd seed. It's going to be interesting to see if One Stop is going to be able to make a final appearance. I think it'll be the first time that a lot of these guys make finals, and it'd be kind of good for them. I think if we're kind of talking about it, this is the year. If One Stop wants to win a championship, this is the year. You're going to have a Braves team that's not consistent. They don't have the biggest roster. They'll probably have maybe 5, 6 guys, 7 guys when it comes to playoffs. They're not all going to be there. And then again, One Stop, their whole team should be there. Like, I don't see them losing versus the Vultures. Roster consistently is not there this year. Fins Up, I think they're just better, more athletic. ECW, same kind of thing. I think their only issue is the Braves, and they don't have to deal with them until the finals. So that's where experience is going to come in play. But we're kind of saying before, if One Stop wants to win a championship, it's gonna be now, and kind of looking at it forward. One Stop just beat the Braves too on Sunday. They beat them 43-34, so that's a big win for them. Looking at you're looking at the Braves roster. They had Emile, they had JD, they had Phil Ferrand, they had Guillaume Belin. I don't think all these guys
Mhm.
played. I think the scorekeeper just kind of checked up everybody. So we'll kind of look to see who was there. Windows was there. It's a big guy from Montreal. Nathan Tran, Guillaume Belin, William
Mhm.
Trottier. So you still had a decent amount of core. Only person you're missing is John Mayer, but that defense is still a solid defense. And the fact that One
Yeah.
Stop was able to drop 43 points on these guys, like it's pretty good. Michael Caparelli went
And
19 for
Cabarelli.
Caparelli, sorry, went 19 for 28. 19 for 28, 258 yards, 6 touchdowns, no ints. So he did a good job distributing the ball. And then you had AJ Zaptella ended up getting two
Yeah.
ints, and one was a pick six. So he helped their defense bring it home. So again, One Stop, kind of, I'm going to say it again, like this is your year. I don't think it's either, to be honest with you, Division A might die out to a point where everyone's going to go competitive. So I don't see Division A staying as long as we might want it to stay. I think a lot of teams are going to make that
Mm.
transition to go into competitive, because you're gonna have less teams. Like I don't see why the Braves are even playing 6v6 anymore, right? They're a travel
Yeah,
team.
no,
It
that's
doesn't
true.
it doesn't
That is
really change
true.
for
That is
them.
true.
You have the Vultures. Benny's having a 5v5 team this year, so he's not going to bring his Vultures. He's trying to translate to 5v5, so they're
Yeah.
going to be gone. Then you have Easy Fun. Easy W is a team that, again, they don't have anyone that plays on different rosters, so they could technically make that jump to play competitive. There's no reason why. It's either competitive or they play Division Two,
Yeah.
either or, like Winter. And then Fins Up, again,
Mhm.
you have a lot of Fins Up is one of the teams where it's kind of different, because you have guys in Idaho, you have guys kind of
Well, that's it
around that
exactly.
that circle where it's like
Yeah.
it gets a bit iffy on their roster for competitive. And then One Stop, you don't have any guys either. So I just think I don't see any other teams coming back to the Division A. Like, you're not gonna have Infantry, you're not gonna have Flag Moi. All these teams are translating to competitive, right? So the five
True.
teams you have here are the teams that are just there. And Braves, I don't think Braves are there next year. I don't think Vultures are there next year. So unless Jeff decides to bring his own team in Division A, then you'll have that. But for sure, like, I don't, like, again, I don't see the reason Braves are playing Division 6, because it does, like, it's a different game. I guess you are getting the reps,
Mhm.
but like at the end of the day, it's different. Like, why? And again, they're probably in their head like, we're not playing the best of the best compared to playing some of the teams. So
True. True. No, that's true for sure.
that's how
That's
I
true for
just see
sure.
it. So
No, yeah, yeah, I can't say that you're wrong. I just think that let's say the Braves say we're not coming back, like you said, and Ben doesn't bring back the Vultures. So 100%, that's two lost teams. Let's say there's a third for argument's sake. So you're saying like easy W, or whether they go is the easy W or easy fun. Let's say they leave two. So it's three teams. I think if they leave, you'll see. So don't forget, we saw Kevin Wyeth and Matt Kerouac, right? Who I know they play with the infantry. They've played 5v5 now the last couple of seasons, but Kevin's kind of a purist. I could see him say, hey, let's try to run it back and do another 6v6. Possibly, I could be wrong.
mhm.
Teams like No Regard, who dropped down to D2, did it go Division B? Did it go great for them? No. I can see them saying, hey, let's go back up to Division A, because still some ball to play. Most of those guys are 6v6 guys for the most part. The Idaho Ute Pimps, I mean, have played Division A. It hasn't gone that great for them. Maybe they jump up now. Okay, the Braves are gone. Some of the powerhouses are gone. Maybe we jump up and play Division A. And there's going to be, for sure, there's going to be some Division A teams, like possibly Les Petits Carrots, who'll say, you know what? Whether they win Division B or not, when there's a good chance they might, they go to Division A next year. That's the
Yeah,
next
it's
stop for
true.
them.
You're right.
I'm
You
just
are.
saying,
You
I could
you
be
are
wrong. I
right.
could be
There
wrong,
there
but I'm just
there
saying,
is
like,
those.
you
Yeah,
never
you're
know.
right.
There's some
You do.
purists. There's some purists who still want to play 6v6.
Yeah,
I
you do
think.
have those Division B teams that can make that jump up. Again,
Yeah.
it's right. Idaho, the Pitsika Hut, Speed Academy, Campi San Butte. Like, you can have those teams jump up, jump down. I think a lot of their rosters. Pitsika Hut is definitely one team that they don't have anyone else. Like, they don't play unless you have Felix Butte. That's kind of the only guy. I don't think he's even playing
Yeah.
five v
Yeah.
fives. I don't think he's playing 5v5s this year. So
Oh, there you go. And they always and I'll give that team's credit. I'll give them credit. They always jump up. They don't mess around in division dodge. They win and they leave. Those
Yeah,
guys, the like the
exactly.
Reds.
So you are right. It's gonna. I just feel like it's gonna be interesting to see, right now. But again, what I'm trying to say, like, if you want a Division 8 title where it's still like, I don't want to say like,
Was it watered down a bit? You think, or
yeah, yeah, exactly. I think like next. Okay, let's just say when you have those good teams come in, like, not they're not bad teams, but if you have the lower guard, it's not the same team. It's not the same thing when you had the Kevin Wyatts, the John Mayers,
oh, of course not. Of course not. Yeah,
it's
that's
not the
very true.
same.
Hundred
I think
percent.
this year, like, at the end of the day, if you win a title with the Braves in the division, I think it's still a title that's worthy. Like, oh yeah, we won Division A. So compared to, like, let's say next year, like, let's say Braves are not there, Flagwell's not there, Kevin Wyatt's not there. Let's say those teams are there, like, oh, you won Division A, but the top three quarterbacks in FPF is not playing in it. I think it's a bit different, or you don't
Right.
have that many top athletes. I think for one stop right now,
Right.
like, this is the year. This is the time to win it. Like, so you don't have to worry about anything next year. I think if you could win it now, you won it. There are 5 teams, but at the end of the day, you're probably gonna have to beat the Braves in the finals. So you could be like, oh yeah, we won a Division 8 title and we beat the Braves. Compared to, like, let's say next year if they
I
win it,
I I I I hear you. I hear you. So my bad. My bad. Finish your thought. My bad.
yeah. So I'm just saying, kind of just to a point where, like, if they do win a title, it's they're gonna feel like they beat a very good contender for it, compared to, like, next year where, again, different rules. Five Division B and A is different because the midfield. So teams are gonna have to adjust. Teams are gonna have to get used to it. So that's gonna be a disadvantage for those B teams coming to Division A. So there's also that where it's like, okay, well, you beat a team that's adjusting. Like Pizzica goes in Division A. Like, it's a big adjustment. 10 yards and 20 yards is a big thing for a first down. I don't care
Hundred
who
percent.
who
Hundred
you
percent.
are. Like, there's
Yeah.
a lot of situations where in Division B, like I played this year, where we could have stopped so many teams, but the factor that getting 10 yards is so much easier than it's so much easier to get ten
Yeah. To
yards to
get to
get twenty
midfield.
yards.
Yeah. For sure. For
So,
sure.
but
Yeah.
my main point is just, I think this again. This is the year for one stop, and I think next in the previous years, I think it's either going to be too easy for them, or it's just not going to feel as a big accomplishment.
I mean, listen, of the thinking that, like, even like the COVID championships, right, for the Lakers and for the other teams, whatnot, like, hey, those flags fly forever, right? Dome or not, or no fans or not. And same thing for this. Kevin Wyeth is not playing. You can make the argument even for this season. There's no Kevin Wyeth. There's like a part time at best Joe Mahu, right, playing in Division A. If one stops wins the Division A title, you think they're gonna care about that? No, because this is what it comes down to. You still have to beat the man across or the woman across from you. You still got to
Mhm.
beat them. The players for one stop are doing that better than anybody right now in Division A. So
No,
they're
no,
not going to care whether
yeah,
there's no
no,
Kevin Wyeth
no,
or no Matt
they're not.
Kerouac or whoever.
No, they're not gonna care. I just think
Yeah,
other people are gonna care. So let's just say, like, they win a Division A title, right? And let's just say for some
yeah.
reason Jean Mayer
Hmm.
didn't play. I'm the type of person like, yeah, okay, you guys won it, but, like, who did you guys beat? You guys beat a Vultures team that was never there, a Fins Up team that was struggling, ECW that's not even Division A
Yeah,
team, like
I, I
Braves
I
that,
hear you, but
like,
I hear you. But if I'm on top, I'm like, well, I didn't tell the Vultures to sign up this
no, no, no,
season.
no, no, I
I
get
I,
that. It's
I
just,
did
yeah,
I didn't tell these guys from the Braves to play for Team Canada either, right? I'm
no,
gonna
no,
beat
no.
their ass if I can beat their ass. Like,
No, I get that, but I'm just saying, like, I just think that how Division A is kind of moving. I think this is the year. If you win it, like, it's still a big accomplishment. That's what I see it, because
yeah, yeah.
Joe Meyer is probably, again. I think he lives in Joliet, so I think the drive is. I think he doesn't live close to Montreal. I think it's far.
Oh, he's running the
So, like,
Joliet leagues. I mean,
yeah,
yeah,
he lives this of, like, him coming to games is it's
it's a
not the
pain. I'm
easiest
sure.
thing.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
close. Yeah, yeah.
so, like, I don't see the
Mhm.
Braves. I don't see him not going into a finals appearance. He's definitely going to be there. So I personally think we're going to see a one stop versus Braves in the finals. So I think
Yeah.
this is the year for one stop. If they want to win a championship, I think this is the year they do it.
I fully agree with that. Like, you have to put up or shut up after a certain point, right? And I'm friends with some of these guys on one stop, and I'm rooting for them because that's the one team that hasn't won a championship. Well, one of a couple of teams who haven't won a championship, and they've been knocking on the door the last couple of years. The only thing is, I know when it comes to the playoffs, there's something that goes wrong usually for this team. Something will go wrong at the worst possible time. I'm hoping it doesn't happen this year, but right now they are the odds-on favorite to win Division A for sure.
Let's move into a division that you kind of score kept before you
Yeah,
do
yeah.
50.
So yeah. So I did B. Let's moving quickly here. So I score kept. I have it right here. I score kept a couple games actually in B. So I did hard eight and ice pack. So yeah, your game hard eight against ice pack. I mean ice pack, they had a chance. I felt bad for them, man. Like I wrote in the article just this past week, one of the hottest teams, kind of similar to the two skiing co-ed 5v5, right? The ice pack, one of the hottest teams in the division right now, right? They were sitting on the outside of the playoffs looking in. They started the season 0-8 and they had won prior to your game against them on Saturday. One, two, no, they had one. Sorry, my bad. I lost count there. I was off on that game, actually. My apologies. They had one basically, I believe it was four out of their last five, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, one,
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
two, three. Yeah, 4 to 5. Yeah, 4 to 5. They lost a heartbreaker to FPF's Most Wanted 2 Mondays ago at Mary Vic. They had a chance though to knock you guys off and kind of jump into that last playoff spot. You guys took care of your business. You beat them 46-30. Exciting game from both offense and the defense perspective. Obviously, Alex Zaliski was doing his thing. 222 yards, 5 touchdown passes. Every single receiver except for one. So 5 out of 6 receivers caught a TD pass. I know they had Chris Hope subbing for the game. They had a guy I've never seen before, Christian Abdel Karim. So obviously they were missing some of the regulars. They were shorthanded. But I've said it and I've said it again. This team like Greg Spino, Sam Langley, Clifties, Salon, Alec Gregoire, like they have some playmakers on this team. I think they'd be like a top end Division C team. Obviously, because of the loss, they end up on the outside of the playoffs looking in. They can't qualify because they have no more games left to do it. They're 2 points behind eighth place Silent Ticklers. So yeah, again, credit to you guys on getting that win. I know you threw a touchdown pass in that game too.
Yeah, I end up throwing one to Roy. Like, I mean, the only reason why they can't get into the playoffs is because they don't
No more
have
games.
the tie break versus Silent Ticklers. They
Yeah.
don't.
Well, that too. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yep.
they lost
There
that
you
game.
go.
So even if there's like they don't have the head-to-head ties Silent Ticklers, for some reason, let's just say Silent Ticklers finish 4-6, FPF one. Let's say everyone finished 4-6. They allow 422 points for, so they're gonna be the team that allowed the most points. And when it
Yeah.
comes to a tie break between three teams, it goes points against, not points for.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. And like I said, they lost to them. They also lost, like I said, the FPF's Most Wanted. So it also eliminates any tiebreaker scenario. I feel bad because I mean I was kind of rooting for Ice Pack again, the underdog and least talented team roster wise, not playing wise, but roster wise out of everybody in this division. But they couldn't get it done. So I mean, if they had a better start, they'd be in the playoffs, I think. I score kept also so a game between two other teams not making the playoffs. KGP Dynasty. It's in no regard. It seems like the last couple of seasons, those two teams never make the playoffs, and they're always playing each other the last game of the year.
Yeah.
Had a chance to talk to Ryan Perry. I love Ryan, man. He makes me laugh. He comes in, starts talking about his Cowboys all the time, and it's like he was hyped for this game. He's like, "Just want to get this win, man. Just want to get this win. Just want to get this win. Want to end the season on a positive note." And hey, listen, it was an exciting game to call. It was physical. Two veteran teams that have been there before, right? They know what they're doing. Went down literally to the last play of the game.
Yeah, two
Let me
point
just go
convert,
back
right?
here. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's exactly a 2 point convert, right? So, I was gonna say, yeah, party crashers, not party crashers. Sorry. KGP Dynasty. They scored. Sorry, no, not KGP. Was it? No.
Yeah,
Yeah,
KGB
second half.
Dynasty
Right, man.
scores.
Sorry. Yeah, so it's Marcus Lynch. He scored a 6 yard touchdown on the last play of the game. Obviously, not wanting to go to overtime, KGP Dynasty went for the 2 point convo in the win. The pass sailed over the outstretched arms of Jalen Greaves. So it's funny. Jalen Greaves, obviously phenomenal receiver. He was supposed to play for No Regard. Sanders and Ryan like, yeah, put him on No Regard. I'm like, all right, cool. And he goes, yo, he comes up to me, yo, bro, put me on KGP. So I was talking to Gabe D'Amico Mazza, obviously one of the captains and the rusher of the team. He goes, yeah, but Jalen's on our team. I was like, oh, okay. So they were kind of arguing back and forth over who should have him. And I'm like, well, none of you guys are making the playoffs. And I'm like, well, I don't know about busting the cap. Who's going to bust him more? Because obviously Phil Cutler wasn't there for KGP. There's a couple guys missing as well as the regular lineup for No Regard. But yeah, anyways, a great game was back and forth. Will Seabag ended up throwing for KGP Dynasty. He looked a lot better than he did last time I saw him play quarterback. Zach Deschamps, a young cat who He just needs to eliminate some of the bad mistakes. Like sometimes, bad mistakes a little bit of inaccuracy as well. He'll just miss some wide open guys and make some bad decisions where he'll put the ball where he shouldn't. But this kid, I like him. He's a good quarterback. He's athletic. He can run, and he has a big arm. My homeboy Terry Gerville had a great game, 3 TDs. Him and Marcus Lynch were going back and forth. Yapping. I've played against Marcus Lynch once when he first broke into the league. I was subbing for someone in Div 6. He does talk a little bit of trash, a little bit too much, actually. He ended up getting hurt in that game. And I can tell you the no regard players were more than more than happy to let him know about it. Thankfully, he came back and kept on playing. So I think he hurt his hand or his wrist or something. He went down kind of hard on the turf. And even I know there were some Concordia coaches that were there, and they're like, oh boy, oof. And then they were happy to see him get up, and rightfully so, because he's a good player. But yeah, there's a lot of back and forth action, man. And this is honestly, of all the stuff that happened Saturday, like games and other stuff, like this is the most exciting game I got to call. I got to watch, part of me. Like I said, no regard, won it on the last play of the game. And Ryan Perry, as Ryan Perry does, huge explosion, huge celebration. He just burst out like a big roar, if you will. And just he was super jacked and super happy that his team got the W again. Not the season he wanted, as they finished, I believe it was like 2-7, I think, in the standings. But hey, they got the win, and that's all he wanted. Yeah, 2-8. Sorry, 2-8.
They actually knocked out KGP's chances to make playoffs, because if KGP won that game, they would have been 36. They would have had one more game, I guess, against their last game would have been against Silent. Actually, KGP played 2 games that day. So if they were able to win that game, maybe they would have been like, okay, let's try to beat Camp Brute. But anyways, they end up losing versus Catibay. But if they end up beating No Regard there, they would have won 3-6. If they won their last game versus Silent Ticklers, they would have finished the season 4-6. It would have put Silent Ticklers into a 4-6 situation, and then it would have been another like 4-way tie depending on FPS 1. It would have been more interesting to kind of see, but at the end of the day, that didn't happen. KGP is now 2-7. They have 1 game left versus Canbute, where versus Silent Ticklers, where it doesn't really matter. For Silent Ticklers, again, they have 1 game left versus KGP, but everything's already settled. Like, we have our top 8 teams. Idaho at the 1, they put together at 2, Hard 8 at 3, Speed Academy at 4, Canbute at 5, Bruins at 6, FPS 1 at 7, Silent Ticklers at 8. These things can change. I was kind of looking at it. Hard 8 could go from 3 to 5. Speed Academy could drop down to 6 at the end of the day. Bruins could go into 3rd. Like, a lot of things could kind of still drift. The 2 teams that are secured a spot right now where they can't move is Idaho Utah Pimps and the Pizzica Hut. They will respectfully stay in the 1 seed and the 2 seed, and they'll end up playing versus 7-8 because there's no buys in Division B.
Yeah, I gotta say, speaking of Silent Ticklers, I know Jordan Penenda is your boy. Yeah, what's going on, guys? What's going on? Like? Come on now. You lose to Speed Academy, tight game, but you still lost. Lose a Hard 8, obviously your team, tight game, still lost. You beat No Regard, fine. I mean, almost everyone else has done that too. Nothing to write home about. You lose to the Petit Carrots. I mean, no shame in that, but it's another loss. Lose to Idaho, you the Pimp, same thing. No shame in that, but another loss. This team has lost 2 in a row and 4 out of 5 games. I don't even think they should even really be a favorite, or they shouldn't be like 100% for sure we're gonna knock off KGP Dynasty. Now, as I say that, they'll probably smoke KGP Dynasty, but like, what's going on with the Silent Ticklers? This is a team who I thought honestly had a chance to win the championship, and I want to say I talked before, right, about a couple of teams. They're also one of the most disappointing teams in this division, the Silent Ticklers. They have a veteran squad. There's no excuses. I've scored kept a ton of their games. They make a lot of self-inflicted wounds, a lot of mistakes that cost them games. It's missed throws, it's INTs, it's missed tackles, it's blown coverages. Like, this is a veteran squad that shouldn't be playing like it's week 1 or week 2 and it's week 11, week 12. Like, I hope they bounce back this week, but I'm definitely not confident that they'll be able to. Like, I have very little confidence that they'll be able to, as to take on the KGP Dynasty team, who again has nothing to play for. But sometimes when you have those teams who their back is against the wall and you're just playing for pride, sometimes those are the hardest teams to beat. So would I be shocked if we're here next week talking about KGP Dynasty knocking off Silent Ticklers? Yeah, not so much.
No, exactly. So and then I got Division B playoffs start on Monday, actually. So the next time we do talk, we're actually going to have we'll be talking about semifinal matchups and not actually the quarters. One thing with Silent Ticklers is that they do also have a really slow start. They're one team that if they don't start off with a big bomb or things kind of rolling, they do start very, very slow. So I think, especially this season, I think that's one thing that kind of is something that kind of I think it was the monkey on their back. I think they've started a bit slow when it comes to offense, and usually when that happens, it leads to games where instead of being up by double scores or by double by instead of being up, it's the point where they're down and then they're playing catch up, and they're not a catch up team. They're more a team that they want you to catch up, and I think that's where they kind of get their
Yeah.
stops. They kind of make their stops. Same with that. Who won Division 2 last year? Do you remember?
I want to say it's Idaho. I would imagine. Hold on, I can check that though.
Last season,
Check
so
that.
winter 2026.
I can check that. Hold on. Winter 2026. Well, I think it was Idaho. Yeah, it was Idaho. They smoked
No, Silent
Mingles
Ticklers won.
27-0. No, Silent Ticklers. Yeah, Silent Ticklers. So yeah, I was thinking about that as I was talking earlier. Yeah, they beat down Mangos. I think it was like 27 or 32-0.
No, they beat Hard 8 in the
No,
finals. Hard 8. The
really?
previous season, Hard 8 beat Mongoose like 50-0. That was
No, no,
fall.
no. Hold on, sorry. This
No,
past winter season you're
no,
talking?
sorry, spring. Sorry, spring. Who won
Okay, because
spring?
Winter Hard Eight beat Silent Ticklers. No, Silent Ticklers beat Hard Eight this past winter season. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I think I called that
Yeah,
game.
so right
Oh,
now we're in
okay, you're talking
right now
spring.
we're in spring. Last
Okay, so
winter,
spring 2025. All right.
Silent Ticklers beat Hard 8. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, because we're
Let me
spring
tell you right
now.
here.
And yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, Silent Ticklers beat Hard
yeah,
8
they beat Hard Eight. Yeah, yeah,
37-34. Yeah, okay. Okay, I was
yeah.
curious. I wasn't sure if Silent Ticklers won, they just won a championship, but yeah, they did win a championship. That's why we're kind of talking about them, saying that they're right now it's kind of disappointing because they're coming off a championship, whatever. But again, last season, something also to kind of talk about. Last season they went 6-4. They finished as the
Yeah.
sixth seed. So I mean, they're kind of in the same situation now, right? I think they're in the 7th seed right now, the 8th seed. So I mean, if they win this game, they kind of jump up. I think they could jump up close to the
If they
6th
win
seed.
this game, if I mean they
If
should, but I mean I don't trust these guys at all right now. I'll be real. Like I don't trust these guys at all. Like and you hit the nail on the head. They're great when they're playing ahead with the lead, and you have to chase them. When they have to come from behind,
no,
that's when you get them
different.
to make mistakes.
Yeah, whole
100. No,
different.
you're completely right. 100%. What did I want to say? Yeah, so I just want to get I'm gonna give a shout out to Keon, by the way, who I'm gonna mention. I'm gonna throw him under the bus a little later in D1. So Keon was talking about Brady. So right now, Brady, speaking of Idaho U the Pimps, Brady right now has 66 touchdown passes for the season. So he's played his 10 games already. But with that, so obviously again we talked about Kevin Wyeth, Joe Mahio, all those cats. Brady has the third highest touchdown total in FPF history
Ooh,
with 66 touchdowns this season.
what was number one?
I'm going to just assume it's either Rick Nanturi or Kevin Wyeth. Let me
So I
check the
mean, like,
accolades
sorry, do
here.
you remember? Do you know
Damn.
how many it is? Or
I think it's 72. Hold on, let me just double check here.
yeah.
Individual. I'll look that up, but
Okay. Yeah, I just
yeah.
played Brady. He diced up our defense. Not gonna lie. We played against them. They won 50-45. They diced. Like, to be honest, we almost had a stop. And then he got a sick pass to Marvin on a 4th down, like 4th and 6, 4th and 7. I knew he was gonna do a crossing route, and I just missed the tip to kind of for us to kind of maybe win the game, and minus one of his extra touchdowns he got instead of having 8. But yeah, he played a very good game versus us last week. I'll be on Tuesday.
He remembers all that trash you talked about him before. He remembers all
Yeah, I mean, we could have won. I had the game winning touchdown in my hands. Jeff threw a Hail Mary, and like to a point where it was actually a perfect ball. I came from the opposite side. The ball's in the air. I jumped up. I had both hands on it, but my gloves were just like they were dirty. Like, I don't know if you ever have like no, not excuse. Well, I kind of said I was like it's a drop ball, but you know when when you like kind of slide on the floor of a
hmm
field and it's like dirty and their gloves are like, you could tell that it's kind of like dirty, like
Yeah,
it
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah,
makes
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
like
Yeah.
picture that and like sweat, like just kind of like
Okay.
mixed
Yeah.
together. So I remember like jumping up for the ball. I everyone's like, yo, you springed out of nowhere. I springed out of nowhere. I had it, and it just kind of like slipped out of my hands. It was to a point where I was like, yo, I should have just took off my gloves, and I would have had a better chance to catching. Because don't get me wrong, when I have like sometimes my gloves do a lot of work, and don't get me wrong, gloves do a lot of work. But in that situation, the gloves they weren't doing any work. Like I should have had no gloves on. But at the end of the day, they ended up winning 50-45, which was a good game. He pretty much got to do whatever he want, and it came down to we had the ball to drive down. We ended up scoring. I also went quarterback. I ran around a bit, tried to kill as much time as possible. We left them with like 33 seconds, I think, and like that. We got them to like a third and like 7, third and 6, 13 seconds left in the game. And then we blown coverage. They ran a post go, and I think post corner, 3 guys deep. We're in a 2-man coverage deep, and he ended up just throwing a fade to his corner, to his wideout, scoring a touchdown. And then it gave us 2 plays to kind of score. Jeff threw a Hail Mary to Ethan. Ethan didn't win his route, ended up being incomplete, and then a Hail Mary to Enzo where I caught it and I just dropped it. But never a doubt, it was still a good game. It actually screwed us over because if winning that game, we would have went 7-3. They would have went 7-3, and we would have had the number 1 seed pretty much locked up in our pockets, depending on Le Pizzicato, how they would do on their last game. But it just put us in a weird situation where now we don't control where we are, and we're gonna have to play again versus any of these good teams, Camden Butte, the Bruins. Like, it all depends. And then, don't get me wrong, I think every team in this division, I think anyone could kind of win it. You do have your front runners like Idaho, Le Pizzicato, us. I think those are the 3 front runners, and depending on Silent Ticklers how they're going. But again, I feel like at any day, if your quarterback has a bad game, some missed throws, a 1 stop, 2 stop, I think any of these teams could actually win a championship. So I think Division B is going to be a very interesting when it hits playoffs.
No, 100%, man. 100%. I'm excited about the playoffs when it rolls around for this season. I mean, anyone can win it. Obviously, like I said, Lipsy, Karas, Idaho, Pimps are the front runners, but anything could happen between. I mean, we've seen front runners get knocked off before, right? So anything could happen. Yeah, I looked at it. So, Kevin Wyeth, I believe his first all time was 70 touchdowns in a season.
Okay.
And that was he stoned 66. So back in winter 2023 with Vengeance, well, it's Division 2, he threw 70 touchdowns. I remember that season. I think I wrote for the Division 2 that season. Yeah, 70 touchdowns, only 4 INTs. He has thrown 66 before, and then a couple other seasons 60. So I still don't know who's second place looks. I looked at Joe Maheu. It's not him. I looked at Rickman Cherry, who many thought was the goal of at least a decade ago in FPF, but it wasn't him either. So Kevin has 66 and he has 70, which is the most. I'm not sure who second is. We'll have to get back and try to answer that maybe on next week's episode. I just want to jump around a bit because I got to take off pretty soon, man. I just want to, I know, so I was going to say Women's C, sorry. Division C, obviously, a big win. I got to give a shout out to Beer Belly Brigade. They knocked off Jagerbomb. The score, hold on, I was looking at it this morning when I was on my way to work. They knocked off Jagerbomb 38-37. Thank you, Ali. Appreciate you, brother. They knocked them off 38-37. That was this past, looking at it here.
That was that was
Saturday,
Monday.
Sunday?
Monday, just the Monday.
Monday, yeah, okay, yeah, Monday, exactly. Yeah, so that was Monday. So they got the big win, setting up a first place showdown with my team, the Commission, this Saturday at 1:00 at Concordia. I hate those early games in the sun, but whatever, it is what it is. Winner takes first, loser automatically finishes in second. So we'll have to see what happens with that. We're looking forward to that game. It's a team that I haven't beaten in a long time, and I'm not a big fan of them. So we'll see what happens.
They're also looking for some players too. I saw them write a post. They're looking for 2 players. So
don't show up. Don't show up. Just don't show up and don't help those guys out. There you go. So I respect them. They're a good team. Just I haven't beat them in a while, and I want to beat them. And yeah, I don't. Again, I've said it before. I don't care where I finish in the standings as long as we win the championship. I really don't care. But beating them would feel nice. Looking any big coming games this week. Other than that, I mean, like I said, top 3 seeds are wrapped up. So yeah, Jagerbomb now with that loss, they dropped to 3rd. I know wrapping up this final week, we have All Blacks, Nut and Run. So Nut and Run again, trying to get that first W of the season. I'm pulling for those guys again. I respect They're a good team. I respect them. They give us a run for the money. Hopefully, they can get the win. I don't know. All Blacks is a good team. Had a chance to score keys them on Saturday. Sam Lachance, that slot receiver number 6. He has some speed. He has some good hands. Uncle Rico Riders against Mangoose. That's going to be a big showdown. Actually, I hope it's going to be a playoff matchup because two veteran teams. I'm excited to see that. Also Saturday at Con U, and then Late Innocence against the Innocent, whatever, against Case of 12, Cassadews.
Mhm.
Sunday to wrap it up on Lavelle. That should be an interesting matchup as well. Just looking at the standings real quick here.
Yeah,
Um,
the standings is pretty much done. Everyone, the top eight
yeah,
teams are gonna
yeah,
make playoffs. There could be a
yeah,
bit of movements, like if you guys beat Beer Belly Vid, you guys will jump as number 1 seed.
yeah.
Jugger
And
Bomb could jump down to the 4th seed. All Backs if they win their game.
yeah.
And it's gonna be a couple ties here and like there's still some movement, but the top eight teams.
Mangoose too. Mangoose and Uncle Rico Riders. That's big, eh? Because Uncle Rico Riders have 11 points. They're in 7th. Mangoose has 10 points. They're
Yeah,
1 point back, right
they
in
could
8th.
jump. They could jump them by one. But like everybody, like the top eight teams are there's 13
They're
teams
locked
in
in.
the,
Yeah,
in
they're
the
locked in.
division, but there's 5
Yeah,
teams that
8 are
don't make
locked
it.
in.
But the top 8 are
Yeah,
locked in. So now it just depends who's going to be where.
yeah. I just want to switch quickly to Division D1 here. So I score kept. Hold on here. This is Monday night. I score kept. No, I'm on Tuesday now. Sorry, no Monday. Here we go. My bad. Yeah, sorry. I score kept Packers and Judith. So Jason Ross's team Packers against Judith Guillaume Belanger. And that was an exciting game, man. That was actually a really fun game to score keep. This was again another back and forth game that went down to the wire. I'm a Guillaume Belanger fan. He didn't throw in this game. He was a snapper, but Raphael Caron, a quarterback who I've liked a lot the last couple of seasons, he was spinning the ball. He had Philip Barrows, who I play against in Division C. The Mimo brothers, Alexi and Charles. Those two brothers can ball, man. And Simo Calvec Cowan. I've heard the name, but I've never seen him play. He didn't have a ton of big plays on offense, only 4 catches for 29 yards, but he had some big catches to move the chains for his team, and he had 2 pass deflections. Etienne Cantin as well. So basically, a lot of the lesser known players on Judith really stepped up and gave them the win. I don't know if you know Angelo Namaja. I don't know if you met him
Mm-hmm,
yet, but this brother can play.
mm-hmm.
This this is like kind of like a taller. Well, no, maybe not taller. Fat, same size, just a little bit faster Gucci, and he doesn't mean my people like Gucci does sometimes. But this guy had like 6 catches, 123 yards, and 2 TDs. This guy is something special. This team as well, right? Like it's him, Justin Waite from Idaho Ute Pimps is a receiver on this team, defender as well. The Pierre brothers. So I like this kid Fabrice and his brother Kevin. Good dudes. I'm gonna say Fabrice, stop calling me sir when you see me. Like I'm old, but not that old. You can call me Brent. My name is Brent. You don't have to call me sir all the time. I think it's when I met him a couple of weeks ago. I hadn't shaved in a minute. I had a big full beard, and then God knows now it's like 3/4 white because of the jobs that I do. And he kept calling me sir. And every time I see him, he calls me sir. And I was like, I don't want to correct him because he's a good kid, but you can call me Brent. But yeah, him and his brother Kevin, naked ball, man. I've been impressed every time I see them play. They're fun to watch too. They're good dudes. James Aker from KGP, obviously he's playing on this team as well. He's a veteran guy, but he's a good dude. I like watching him play, and obviously Jason Rossi, who I'm friends with. Back and forth game. Judith getting the W, 38-36
It's huge,
in that contest. Yeah, huge win. Yeah, well,
huge
that's
win for
exactly right.
them.
Huge win.
It's a big
Yeah,
win for them.
touchdown.
They need.
Last play. Yeah, yeah. Last play of the game on 4th down. They had a chance to make a stand. Pacemakers had a chance to make a stand. I thought they were going to do it. And a quick out route by the center, who was Guillaume Belanger at the goal line. The quarterback came around through a bullet. Belanger got it and touchdown, ended the game, 4-yard TD to get the W. But yeah, like you said, though, Quaysie, big win there for Judith.
Yeah, that puts them in the 9th seed, and they need
Yep.
that win because they have so many points against that they can't afford to finish the season 4 and
Yeah.
6. They need to. Well, the next game they're playing Garni Kamak, and they're
Yep.
struggling as
Yep.
well too. They're finishing 2 and 7. So if they could win that game, they'll go 5-5. Then they pretty much have to hope for Ball Hawks to lose their game, and they can knock out the Ball Hawks in a playoff spot where the Ball Hawks are going to finish 5-5. The Ball Hawks will finish with they end up their end of their season. They're going to be playing no punt attendant, which is right now the the bottom seed as a 13th seed. So I mean,
Yeah.
like at the end of
Yeah.
the day, like if Judah lost that game, their playoff hopes would be completely out. But now the fact that they could go 5-5, they could still pretty much hope for a loss from um the Ball Hawks. So the Ball Hawks lose, they'll get knocked out. and then that's pretty much it because everybody else we're gonna or that everybody else would beat them if there's a five. Basically, if Judah go 5-5, Block go 5-5, Bend no break go 5-5, Double dip goes 5-5, it becomes a four-way tie. But then it's gonna be points against, and Judah's has allowed 310, so they desperately need, no pun intended, to beat the Hawks, and they also need to win their game. So they kind of need two things to happen for their playoff for that playoff run to actually begin. But I mean, there's still
Yeah,
hope.
well, there you go.
Never know.
Okay. No, 100%. So I want to get to one last game. So get scorekeeping and Papino on Monday. There's me, Mo Khan, and Jason Leclerc with the referees. It was funny. So we're hanging out. Keon comes up. So Keon's team, Junior XL, Special Ed, they're playing the studs. I don't want to throw Keon under the bus. He's my guy, but he's like, yeah, man. Yeah, we're gonna beat the studs. He goes, their defense isn't that good. We're gonna try and drop 60 on those guys today. I was like,
Like,
okay, bro, do your thing, son, do your thing. Yeah, listen, that game, I'm telling you, Keon, that did not work out, and he'll be the first to tell you, it did not work out how he thought it would. Studs didn't drop 60, but they dropped 38 on Junior XL Special Ed to 12. Dominant victory. This game was never close. A little bit of foolishness at the end of the game with one of the officials, pardon, one of the players from the studs kind of mouthing off to Mo Khan actually. So Loic Dupoint ended up getting only one OC. He's supposed to get two. Referees thought about it, said we'll just give him one. Don't want to suspend the guy for the playoffs. So Loic Dupont getting only one OC after the game, so he is eligible to play next week. But yeah, listen, they came out, they dominated. This game was, like I said, it was not
dominant.
really all that close. Yeah, they dominated, man.
They
They were hitting him with the
destroyed
deep, with the
them.
short.
They
Yeah,
destroyed
yeah,
them.
yeah. And they mollywopped him, man. It's like Keon, and in my head I was just like, Keon should have said. I didn't hear Keon because Keon came over to me and told me that, so they didn't hear obviously because they're at the other side of the field warming up. But I was like, I think you put that into the air because yeah, Philip Jalana diced these guys up, 6 TD passes for Antoine Clement. So I've seen this studs team play before in finals and regular season and playoffs. Antoine Clement should be playing like in at least Division C. This brother can ball. This brother is fast. He has good hands. He catches almost everything in his direction. He's not bad also on defense. Like, this guy can ball. He had 8 catches, 85 yards, 4 touchdowns. He was killing. I'm going to say it again. He was killing the Junior XL Special Ed. Didn't matter whether it was Keon, Anthony Mustache, the Esperanza brothers, Kyle Fulkerson. It doesn't matter who they put on the man. The man was burning everybody like toast. So yeah, let's Keon, my man, you got to back that up a bit there, man. You can't be talking all that trash, and you guys have put up 12 points when you're looking to score 60. Yeah, great games. Shout out to studs. I can They were looking like the studs look like studs in that game. That's all I can say about that.
Yeah, it's a huge win for them. Like, I mean, their
100%.
season's over, but to be able to beat the number one seed, I mean, you at least you're ending your season off of that.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. No argument with that. So I'll do it quickly. Sorry, I did Division E2. I did Special Agents in the Stables.
Okay.
Stables brought back their winter quarterback, David Mather. We've talked about him before on the pod. This guy, good dude, great shape. I think he plays hockey. This guy can ball. The regular quarterback, Devin Kreutzer, I think his last name is. He was not there for the game. They were missing a couple of guys actually, on both sides actually. I did Devin Kreutzer wasn't there. Special Agents, they were down to 6 guys. So it was like Chris Olsen was playing both ways. My main man Mike Jazz is playing both ways in that. Yeah, Special Agents were up 16-0 at one point in this game. They started off. There was a safety. The Stables got one of the first few plays of the game, gave the ball back to Special Agents. Special Agents scored a touchdown, and then they went up. Yeah, it was a touchdown by Austin Yasbit McDonald. Shout out to him. They got the ball back. So Nick Quaysie, so Kevin Quaysie's kid, had a chance to meet him. Finally, he's a good kid. He scored a touchdown. 16-0. These guys were rolling, and then it just all fell apart. Their defense didn't get stops. I mean, there were 6 guys, didn't have any subs. Their offense is stalled, as has been the case for most of the season for Special Agents. I felt bad. These guys wanted to go out on a high note. They were missing Anthony CJ, who was a former guest, Melissa Millette. They're missing a lot of guys as well. Benjamin Denny, one of the top speedy guys as well, wasn't there. But yeah, they fell apart and couldn't recover. They ended up losing the game. The final score was 42-30. Entertaining game to watch, but when you're up 16-0, you got to get that W. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And they were saying that as well.
Yeah. I actually got to see Vengeance play versus Rosemary Rhinos. So
Yep.
big win for Vengeance. They're actually kind of
Yep.
wondering. I think they were looking for a team to see if they're gonna win it or not lose. I think it was no
Yeah.
poking around, or one of these teams where
Yeah.
they're like, oh, if they lose, maybe we'll have a chance for points again. Unfortunately for them, they end the season 4-6, still in short. Also end the season 4-6. Super Brock ends 4-6, and everyone's out of playoffs, right? Because enter team name ends up the season 4-5-1. So that one tie that they got versus Trailer Park Boys ended up being a big tie that kind of clinched
Oh
them
yeah.
that the number 8 seed. I just also give a shout out to Trailer Park Boys coming back into FPF. I think they kind of took a couple. I think they want to take I think maybe took 2 seasons off. They came back into this division. They finished the season 9-0-1. Again, I think there's still a long way for to win a championship, but the fact that they're going to be the number 1 seed going into playoffs. Again, there's team top and tops, flag dealers, stables. These are all
Yep.
good teams that we've been talking about a bit here. So I think it's going to be interesting to see when these teams actually get a matchup and they end up playing as each other, because playoffs is it's not the same thing as regular season. But I just try to give a shout to
Yep.
them. The fact that they kind of were gone for a bit, they came back into this division there, and they just started dominating the way they did. And yeah, so the
Yep.
teams are actually, we do have the 8 teams set. We do have the 8 teams set. We do have
Mhm.
everything actually set. There's no more games in the division, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be look at the playoff breakdown. There's no buys, so we're gonna see a number 1 matchup
Mhm.
versus 8, 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5.
Yeah.
So I think this is one of the divisions where the playoffs are pretty set, and everyone, they kind of know who they're playing against, and I guess they're thinking about, they played against them. They're kind of strategizing to see
Yeah.
what they
Exactly.
got to do
Exactly.
to make it a playoff run. It's actually kind
Yeah.
of funny
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
you have 3 teams that are 4-6 and none of them are making playoffs. Usually 4-6 is
Yeah.
like you're close enough
Yeah.
to kind of get in, but this
Especially in the
year,
lower divisions too. Yeah.
yeah, this year
Yeah.
you're just a bit short.
No. No, it happens. You gotta try and finish at least 500, right? If you want to be serious as a playoff contender, and in this case, make the playoffs. I will say Trailer Park Boys. So I called him on the article last week. So Antoine Meunier, one of the guys on the team, he called me out. He messaged me. I said they had a weekend slate of games. They're playing Saturday and Sunday. I predicted them to lose the Saturday but win the Sunday. Saturday games happen. They win. He messaged me on Messenger. I've never talked to this guy in my life. He's like, hey man, I just want to say you were wrong on the podcast. I'm wrong on the article, bro. We got that W. We'll get it tomorrow too. They won Sunday. He hit me up. So shout out to him. I was wrong, guys. You guys, they finished 9-0-1. Shout out to the Trailer Park Boys. First place. 0 losses. Not a perfect season, but undefeated. Shout out to those guys for Trailer Park Boys. So to go Division F quickly, I noticed I want to give these guys credit. So, well, not credit, I guess. Baby Sharks losing their first game of the year. They lose to TG 28-24 Sunday in Laval in overtime. Sorry, 25-24. Sorry, in OT. First loss of the season. Yeah, for the Baby Sharks, a drama-filled game. And so, looking at this game, Baby Sharks, they forced a punt. So TG's punted, right? And Baby Sharks got the ball back. They had about a couple of plays. They ended up in the red zone with like 3 plays left. But then they had a bad snap, which set them back about 5 yards. Then an incomplete pass. The final play of the game was incomplete. So then it went to overtime, and then 1 point convo for TGs, forcing Baby Sharks to have to go for the 2 point convo. They couldn't get it. And that's why we have a 25-24 victory for TG. So again, first loss of the year for the Baby Sharks. Aladdin FC, right? They won their game. I'm trying to look at who they beat again. I know Aladdin FC again. They were formerly undefeated. They lost. Their loss actually was all the way back on May 31st against 1664 Blanc. So 7 wins in a row for Aladdin FC. So obviously they're heading into the postseason with a lot of momentum here in Division F. So it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. Come playoff time for Division F. Obviously, 16 teams make the playoffs. So obviously, that's a lot of teams. We're not going to go into all the matchups now. But again, 16 teams make the playoffs. Regular season is over with Baby Sharks in first, Aladdin FC in second, Sweeping Hands in third, and Show the teams filling out the standings. There's no chances of the. Oh, yeah, so the last seed to make it is Vic's Dog's House. Vic's Dog House, 3rd and 16th. They can't be knocked out of the playoffs. I know we want to. So we always do the player spotlight. I'm gonna do it quickly. I know we want to sign off here. Sorry. Player spotlight. My main man Sanders Armand, quarterback of my team, 9 touchdown passes in our last game. He got a player spotlight. This is week 9, mind you. So the week 9 player spotlight. Marc-Andre Rees, Division 2 camping Saint Boutin. We have Gigi, obviously she was in there last week, but again the week before and for week 9 she had 126 yards, 3 touchdowns. Dylan Boudreau, I talked about earlier, for his team Vicious and Delicious in co-ed 4, 212 yards, 6 TDs. We had Susanna Loaiza, we talked about her earlier in the show with the Flamingos, 2 TDs on offense, 3 sacks on defense. My main man Zach Albers Gill with enter team name here, who you talked about before, Quaysie Division E2, 7 catches, 3 TDs, 5 sacks, 1 pass deflection. Zach, as we like to say, with the Zach attack. We have Stephanie Clairot Drapeau, 12 receptions on 12 targets for 108 yards, 1 touchdown. She had a couple pass deflections. This is for Women's B for Wolfpack. So good performance there for Wolfpack. And her woman, Owen Bremer, 2 touchdowns on offense, 5 INTs, 3 pass deflections for 2 Bucks in Division F. Alexandre LeBlanc for Supernova Women's B, 11 tackles, 1 pass deflection. Matthew Rupchich, so a veteran, 10 catches, 112 yards, 4 touchdowns. On offense, 4 INTs, 2 pass deflections on defense. Delphine Burrell for Knicks for Women's A, 11 catches, 90 yards, 1 touchdown on offense, 3 sacks on defense. And my buddy Jean-Christophe Ferland, 12 catches, 98 yards, 4 TDs on offense, and 4 sacks for co-ed, in co-ed 2 with Easy Fun. So shout out to all those players for the week 9 player spotlight. We'll have week 10 coming up next week. I know this coming week we're going to be having, so we talked about the fastest male in FPF. We will have the next round of the lowest divisions, D2 and lower, coming on next week. Same thing, we'll have the second round of the women's next week as well. We want to also do the fastest male for Division D1 and up, right? So we don't have anything released yet, but we will have a look for it coming soon. Just some names to throw out there: Ethan Alexander, Alex Fafar, Carrie Barrett, Ben McMahon, Marc-Andre Reeves, Kevin Donnet, Sanders Armand, Gucci will be up in there. We'll have Whedon's Alexander. I think even our co-host here, Quaysie Gordon Maule, may find himself in the voting for fastest male in Division D1 and up for FlagPlus Football.
Sick. We also want to say that playoffs do start this Monday, August 10th. There's so many days, I don't know exactly who's playing, so kind of check we have an article. I think it's like an article, but it kind of tells you when playoffs start, the days are, so plan accordingly. Again, you don't exactly know what time you're playing at right now, but you can see the date that you're playing on, so kind of just make sure your schedule's free, because the worst thing that you want to happen is miss a playoff game. It's not the best experience. I think I've missed one in my 13 years of playing in this league, and I was not happy about it because my team ended up losing, so I was not happy. But so just make sure you plan accordingly for that. Look at that, so you kind of let your team know, so you don't share the link, so everyone's on the same page. And then also registration ends August 23rd. So if you guys want to register your team, if you're looking for some players, I've seen a lot of players kind of post on the FPF Facebook wall trying to get some players. I know a lot of people are active there. People are also looking for teams too, right? I think I've seen maybe 5 or 6, 7 people asking for players, and I think I've seen maybe 5 or 6 people trying to get on teams. So there's again, it's open for everything. If you want to try out co-ed, people are looking for co-ed. You want to try out women's, let's say you want to try out different division, like everyone's posting. A lot of people are looking for a lot of players right now. So kind of just, if you're not in the group now, request to be in it. I think it's very easy to get on it, and you kind of could find yourself a new squad, or if you're looking for some players, you could there's a good way where you can find players there too.
So fall season starts September 8th. So like you said, make sure you go up to FlagPlusFootball.com, check it out, or the Facebook groups. Like you said, I think that pretty much wraps it up for this week. In closing, obviously, again, let's be kind to each other. You got a hot head, do something to complain about, something to cool down over. Just walk away, cool down, man. Just be cool. Just be cool. We want to keep on playing some football and just be cool with each other. You don't have to love everybody. You don't have to like everybody. God knows I don't like everybody, and not everybody likes me in this league. So, whatever, man. Just be cool about it. Just be cool. It doesn't make sense to come out and fight and waste your money and waste your time, right? And ruin things for you and your teammates. Just be smart. Just be cool, man. Just walk away. Go have a beer. Go do something. Have some water. Chill out. Let things calm down a bit, and then talk to the person after and say what you didn't like or whatever the case may be. Right? Just be smart about it, right? We're here to play ball and have some fun. That's what it's all about. It's what FPF is all about, right? So just be smart about it.
Yeah, exactly what Brent said.
All right, there you go. All right, it's been the latest episode of FlagPlus Football's First and Goal podcast. He's Quaysie. I'm Brent. Big shout out to Ali as always for everything that he does, because he's the one that makes us look good here on camera and makes everything sound good as well at home. Thank you guys, of course, for tuning in, because again, we wouldn't be here without you guys. And we will see you next week. Playoffs are here. Playoffs are coming up. This is why we pay money and this is why we play. It's good times are coming, so stay tuned. We have all the latest info here. Don't forget, hit up the articles by myself, by Yvonne, by Keon. We'll try to get all the divisions covered if we can. It's a lot of articles, only 3 of us writing. So if you want to pitch an article, if you want to help write, please feel free to come, hit us up, and you're more than welcome to come. Again, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Have a good one.
Peace.